everyone's having a good morning. Welcome on in. Let me just move some stuff around. Thank you for the horn, Shifty and Sleeves. Thank you for the egg. I hope you're both doing well. All right, I need to move a couple things because I have actually not cleaned my desk. There is stuff all over my desk. It's mainly stuff I'll be using, but it shouldn't be right in the middle. There we go. Ah dear. How's everyone doing? I hope you're all doing well. I hope you're all enjoying your Halloween so far. There we go. I need to be a bit careful because the camera's right in front of my legs. We're going to be going back to making flowers, but I want to go over a little bit about some of the flowers we've already made and making a couple of changes. It's not terrible, it's just a few things I'm not super happy with that I'm going to be changing. And then, yeah, we got two streams today. We got our morning stream, but then with Shifty Bluke, we have a super spooky evening stream where we'll be playing some RE6, which we played RE6 together way early this year, or it was either late last year or early this year, and we did the first chapter together, and it was it was something. It was really, really fun, that's for sure. The game is something. What? Ah, get out of here! I'm trying to do a stream. Yeah. Oh dear, my Halloween's very scary so far. Work. Ooh. That is scary, very scary. I went this morning and I packaged up all the hoops. So for those who didn't know, they gave away all of the hoops on the Boobtober channel yesterday. So we have our 5 winners of the embroidery hoops. They'll be delivered later, sent off later today. Not delivered later today, that would be way too quick. But yeah, we have that done. The drawings for people, I have finished them. I just need to get them scanned into the computer. That's my bad, I need to scan them in. But all the drawings are done, so I just need to get them scanned in and then I can send them out to people and hopefully that'll wrap up October pretty well. Dear Cthulhu, welcome on in. I hope you're doing well. Welcome. We are just chatting a little bit about the end of October. There are some things I want to do in November. I have one very specific plan. So anyone who streams might have seen this. When you start streaming, Twitch gives you like achievements if you hit certain goals. So like getting an average of 3 viewers, then getting an average of 10 viewers, and up so on and so forth. And you get achievements for hitting those like goals. There's one achievement I really want to get, but it's going to take some organization, and I want to get the one where you stream 25 days in a month. So in November, I'm going to be trying to stream 25 days. So just for, I guess, reference, my average is 16 days a month, 4 days a week. So I have to up that a bit, but I would like to hit the 25 days. That would be really fun. I think it means I get 5 days off in November, or 6 days off in November. It means I'll have to stream some weekends, but it's okay because most of the work in the house right now I'm not very good at anyway. I can't really help. Let's see, how many? 30 days, so I get 5 days off next month. But I really want to get that achievement. It's been hovering over me, and like even doing Boobtober last year where I was streaming like 5 to 6 days a week, I still didn't hit it. And I'm like, I really want to get that. I want that achievement, please. I want to hit 25 days in a month, so I'm gonna give it a go. There will be some days I can't stream. For instance, this Wednesday coming up, I know 100% I can't stream because we have the electrician around all day, and that means the electrics will be turned off all day. So, so I won't be streaming on Wednesday, but it's not the best start. But I can make it up at the weekend. I have a feeling this could be done during the 8 months in preparation for TwitchCon. It's hard though. So I don't know if you remember Cthulhu. Last year when I did Boobtober, I streamed nearly every single day and I didn't get it. I think I streamed 23 days in October and that was exhausting. I mean, I did do quite long streams and it was very heavy on prep. So it wouldn't be quite that bad because obviously I'm not making a bra every single day. But yeah, 23 streams in a month was hard. And so to hit 25, but I want to. So it means we'll be streaming weekends. It means there might be extra streams being thrown in that I don't normally do. You also don't have to do long streams. I don't, but I also so I am very much, I need to be in the middle. If I only stream for like 2 hours, I don't really get into the groove of crafting because I like longer crafting sessions. So for the sake of the costume and also like me getting the amount of crafts that I do want to do in a day, better to do a little bit longer, but then not really, really long. I think going to like, I think the average was between 6 and 8 hours doing Boobtober, and not that long. Not that long. Oh dear, I think I'd lose my voice after the first week. Oh dear, but yeah, that's the plan for next month. For today though, it doesn't count. Today, we are doing 2 streams today, so it would have been great if it counted, but it doesn't, so. Oh dear, I think it'll be fun. It'll be a fun little challenge. I was gonna go over some stuff that I'm doing. Good luck, thank you. It's really just for fun. If we don't hit it, we don't hit it, but I'm gonna be trying to get it. So here are the petals that I made last week. They're all in different orders. They're not really like in any particular thing. Do you see the little white patches? Mainly it's at the top. Occasionally you'll also see them at the back, but all those little white patches are the paper. It's the paper showing through. So where it bends, it takes some of the thread away from that bend, which means that the white paper shines through a little bit. I really don't want that. So instead, I'm going to be, this has been a really good test, and I might use it somewhere on the costume, but it's not what I want for the majority of it. So I bought some red paper, and I've been cutting them out of that instead, so that at those areas where they bend, if the threads move away, it doesn't show white underneath. It does look white on the back of some of them if I've just changed camera, you'll see. It's just the sticky back plastic. Not sticky back plastic, double-sided sticky tape. So yeah, don't worry about that. It's not actually gonna be white, but it'll all be red like this. A little bit of paint, but this is a thing. If I have to make hundreds of flowers, I do want to paint them, but I don't want to have to be going back and touching up every single flower, because that's such a time sink. So instead, yeah, and also if this is for a competition, having bits like, you see that? There's just like little white bits in there and like a little bit there. It's just not the high enough quality for a competition. Like, yes, I can fix it, but no, it's not probably the best idea. And it's a shame because it is on basically every single petal that I've made so far. But that being said, that's 1 week of petal making. And I'd rather spend 1 week and come to like, okay, this isn't gonna work like this. We'll have to fix it. I could still also use white paper. It'll just have to be for the white flowers. Which reminds me, actually, 2 seconds, I need to do a little bit of a order because I need some more thread. I have enough thread for today's stream, that's not a problem. But for tomorrow, actually, let me just move this because otherwise you're all going to see my beautiful, beautiful keyboard. For tomorrow and onwards, I may need just a little bit of thread. 2 seconds. I actually have it all in a basket. I just have completely forgotten to buy it. As you do. Let's see. There they are. So I'm looking at buying, what do you call it? Be that basket. I am getting some extra wire, but I'm also getting the wire in red for the same reason, in that like I think it would make some of them a little bit easier if they're in red. So I'm getting like the standard silver wire as well as a red beading wire, just so I have options. And then yeah, that's the other thing, is I'm going for a darker red, but then with a bright red as a contrast, so that some of the petals can be just a slightly brighter color if they're near the middle. And I will be painting them, but I don't want to paint too much, because otherwise why am I bothering making them out of thread if I'm just going to cover the whole thing in a thick coat of paint like that? It's a waste of my time doing that. So I am just getting a couple of different variations of the color so that I can have some petals do that. One thing I do want to do as well is, do I have an example here? Yeah, this one. It's not perfect. So I have this same one. One of them's painted and one of them's not. I'm gonna need a little bit more. I think you can see it. It makes quite a big difference on camera actually, but it just looks a little bit more horrific when it's got like the darker edges. And this one I did put a little bit of whiter near the center. I don't know if I'd actually do that because it does desaturate it a lot, and it's just okay, but I don't think it needs to be desaturated. So I'm thinking about that. Maybe just putting some speckles in there instead, rather than like some little gold specks, rather than the white. Not sure. Still thinking about that one. Right, 2 seconds. Let me just quickly grab all this. So I've gone for wine red as well as crimson. So that this is probably more of a crimson color, so a slightly darker version of that. I've gone for a mid beige and a beige. And then I've also gone for a white and a cream, which is like a very just off-white. to do all of them, because I don't think I want too much just white. I have a lot of just white in the house, to be honest, so I'm not ordering very much of that, but I don't think I want just white. Like, that's quite an intense, bright colour. And again, it's a horror costume, I don't know. Bright white feels a bit... Unless you're doing, I suppose, well, a wedding dress, but even then I feel like you'd rough it up a bit. Alright. Sorry, I am procrastinating. Please send me this. I need it as soon as possible. I also need... Yeah, that one. And this one. That's my house. And... Oh, do I have to pay delivery? That's a shame. That's okay. Bah. There we are. Okay. Now, hopefully, by the end of the week, I'll have that all sorted and I don't have to worry about running out of threads. Oh dear. George, welcome on in. I hope you're doing well. We were just talking about a couple of the changes we're making in the making of the flowers. Not that I'm really pleased with how this has turned out. It's just there's a couple things. If it was not for a competition, I should say, I would not bother. I would just keep making it out of the white paper and like either fill in the gaps or just ignore the gaps. But since it's for a competition, anyone in chat watch cosplay competition at the weekend at MCM, the World Champions. What's it called now? It's Crown Championships of Cosplay. Because somebody may have won it who hangs out in this chat sometimes, and their costume was fantastic. It was so good. Oh my god, it was so lovely. Honestly, I was watching it with my mum. Me and my mum were just waiting for like at the end, like they're gonna announce the winner. They're gonna announce the winner. Oh my god, is it her? Is it her? And both me and my mum did a little happy dance. My mum doesn't even know her. She was just happy because it was someone I knew. Oh dear. Hi George, how goes it? Goes good. I hope you're doing well. I didn't know someone was on. Who was it? Do you know Amazonia Cos? Amazonia Cos, who pops into chat. I think they're also called a Mars Cos some places, but mainly Amazonia. And they sometimes stream on Twitch. I know they were considering entering TwitchCon 2023. I don't know if that plan will change now that they are quite literally world champion of cosplay. They are our current world champion. But I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if they still entered. It's a really fun competition. But yeah. I'm so excited. Honestly, I was so excited for her. Yay! Yeah. Also, it means though anyone who enters into TwitchCon 2023 may potentially be up against the world champion, which I think is very hype. Up and down, bum bum. My tea is already getting cold. Oh dear, going well, thanks. Easygoing day today, planning an early night. That's fair. Do you get trick-or-treaters near you, George? Or not so much? Just out of curiosity. There is no deeper questions here. I'm just wondering. Oh dear. Actually, let me change so you can see what I'm doing here, because I've been doing this a little bit. As some of you will already know, I don't have the proper wire that I want yet, so I'm kind of just using this covered wire and then tearing it out with my teeth, which I know is not ideal, but also, you know, we make do. This is what I can do. So I like put them all next to each other and I measure and I'm like, okay, probably about this long then. Based on how long all they are. And then I know that I need 3 of this. Or is it 3 or is it 2? I just said I knew. Maybe I don't know. I think it's 3. Then we cut 3 lengths of this. And then I'll have to pull the wires out of all of them, which is not so pretty. You got, oh my god, $20 of lollies today. Heck yeah. Oh my god. You'd be ready for Halloween. We've got a bit of a mix. We do have some lollies, but then we also have some chocolate. So we have like Freddo bars and stuff like that. And then we have Malteser bags. And then we have Haribo bags. So got a bit of a mix. So hopefully there'll be something someone likes. Okay. This bit's a bit not pretty. Sorry, everyone. There's gonna be a lot of my spit in this costume. Last couple of years, maybe a group or 2 back when I was at school, you see it quite a lot. Oh, see, we've never had trick-or-treaters. And the places that I've lived, they've just never been trick-or-treaters. So this might be the first year we get them, because the houses on our road decorated themselves, so like all up to with Halloween and stuff like that, which makes me feel like maybe? Ah. So I'm just trying to like pull the end off with the wire inside. Ah, it's not really working. Let me see if I can snip it at all. There we go. Just to uncover the wire a little bit so I can then pull it out with my teeth. There you go. Got it. Oh! Ah, dear. Bean Boozles count as all these right. Oh, absolutely. It's bad that trick-or-treaters aren't a thing in my town. Oh, so you just bought them for yourself. I don't think that's bad. I have no slates. I've also not decorated, so hopefully no one not. I think they do tend to target houses that have decorated. We put some ghosts up in the windows and stuff like that. Trick or treat, here's a bean. Yeah, here's some suffering in bean form. You're welcome, children. Welcome to the real world. Things don't always taste like candy. Ow. Might watch some horror movies later. That's a good way of spending Halloween. Heck yeah. Alright, I know I said I was going to do all this off stream, but I haven't. I have been labeling them now though. So because I've been cutting them out in bigger amounts, knowing how long they are, so this is a 3. There's my 3. And that way I can match them nice and easily so I don't get confused later on about which one's meant to be which. Otherwise it gets very complicated. You don't have to do very many and you're like, how long is this? I don't know how long any of these are. I'm lost. There we go. There we go. Like that on there, and then we just have to do all of them. Ah, dear. I could get chocolate pudding or canned dog food, but still. How would the parents react looking at you giving them Bean Boozled? Be like, wow, that's cruel. That's so cruel. It triggers existential dread or anxiety. Oh dear. I wonder if maybe we got too many choices. I don't want anyone to be like lost or not sure what to pick. It's just I wanted to have a mix because personally I don't really like. I don't mind some gummy sweets, but like I am quite picky with gummy sweets, and I always have been. There's been quite a few gummy sweets that I never really liked as a kid. So if I only had gummy sweets, I probably wouldn't like them. But then obviously I know some kids, there are people that can't eat chocolate, which because of the milk in it and stuff like that. So I didn't want to only have chocolate either, so I just got a bit of everything. Oh dear, it makes me sad that film stores run out of the film. Oh well, off to eBay. Oh god. Oh dear. I think Jason is single-handedly keeping eBay running. Or the eBay camera community running. There we go. And fold that over. Oh, I still have forgotten to make a post that we've changed costume. Should I just never make that post? Like, yeah, we changed costume, but no one's allowed to know. It's a secret. Don't tell anyone. Unless you've been in the stream. Secret. I've changed costume. Don't worry about it. Horror movies. See, I probably won't have time to watch horror movies today because I'm going to be playing horror games. Although not maybe the most spooky horror games. Honestly, Resident Evil 6 is a gem, and I refuse to hear otherwise. I know people really dislike Resident Evil 6. I think if you play it solo, it probably sucks. Because it has the multiplayer option, it brings it back up again, in my opinion. The multiplayer in Resident Evil 6 is just fantastic. It's so janky, and it's honestly terrible, but it's great. You love it. Horror games, yeah, I'm gonna be playing some more Resident Evil 6 with Shifty later on stream. So I'm gonna be streaming for a few hours, taking a bit of a break, hopefully seeing some trick-or-treaters. I'm gonna be posting all of the hoops as well. And then we're gonna come back and play some at 6 o'clock GMT, because we have had the clocks go back now. We are no longer in BST, we are now in GMT. So, oh, I should have said that as well. For anyone who is in a different time zone to me, Surprise! This is when I'm gonna be starting now. I might maybe start a little bit earlier, but like, yeah, because the clocks have changed, it means that I think for some people I'll be starting a little later than I usually did. If memory serves. I don't remember if it's later or earlier, but it's not quite the same time. Oh, there you go. We do these in little rows of 6, since that's like half the flour. Then we can put the 2 halves together. Whoop. That's another thing. I have run out of double-sided sticky tape, so when I go and deliver them, I'm gonna pick up some more, because I've been drawing so many of these, but then I got to the point where I just couldn't keep cutting them out because I ran out. There we go. Pretty cute. And now that it's in red, if any of the thread shows, no it doesn't. It's secret. Oh dear. Right. Stick that little teeny tiny bit in there. Go on, stick that in there. You know you want to. And then... go. Start wrapping around. I will just fold that over because the longer that is, the more annoying it becomes. See, I've been doing it like this. When I guess because it keeps me sat upright. But then, I mean, I could change things around, but I don't... Oh, wait, 2 seconds. If I'm going to do that, let me just... I won't give anyone motion sickness. My only concern is that this is going to be maybe a bit of a... We're ready for chin cam, you know? But this is how I've been doing it. Yeah, there's my chin. That, maybe? Because it's just easier and it means that I sit up straight. Getting me to sit up straight doing a stream, not easy. Oh dear. I will say it still aches my arm after a day of doing this. Like, you really feel it. Oh dear. There we go. I should probably take sewing out of the tags because I don't think this really counts as sewing, to be honest. Yeah, get it all nice and thick in there. And then if any of the threads move, which they inevitably will because we'll be bending them and stuff like that, the wire, and some bits will get more coverage than others. But hopefully, now that we've changed the paper color, it won't be quite so obvious. It looks like you're gonna punch the camera. That's it. It's just, I can move it back a bit. Ah! Sorry, the arm that holds it on is really, really strong, which is a good thing, honestly. But like, there you go. Is this better? You're a bit further away now. You're at a bit of an angle. I don't really know how to fix that. That's a... You're welcome to... Sorry. Okay, wait. Put this down. Try and fix this properly. Hi, welcome to my mouth. I know you guys love mouth streams. Okay, there you go. Well, that's the back of my desk. But... Okay. Let me just reset my whole setup midstream. No one's gonna mind. No one's gonna mind. No one's even gonna notice. Actually, I could put you further back. That might help. What if you guys were not here, but there? Oh god. There we go. It's alright, we'll get this sorted out now and then I don't have to get it sorted out again. Okay, now you're right at the edge of my desk. It's a bit dangerous, but I know you guys, you like to live on the edge, right? There you go. Is that better? We'll see. First the chin, then the mouth. Yeah. How's this? Is this good? You like this? I have to keep my knees up because that's where I put the thread at the moment. So it has to come from there so it doesn't unravel weirdly. There you go. There we go. I think It's a bit weird having the two, like, where the camera is 2 times, because, like, it doesn't really add anything. But I'll keep it like this for now. There we go. Oh dear. Scott, welcome on in. Thank you for the egg. Oh dear. US streams will be later for me from next week. Oh no. Heck, even later. Because we're already pretty late for you, right, George? Oh dear, my goodbye. Oh, nice. Very nice. Sky, just leave, I want to come say hi. Oh, bless you. Enjoy the rest of your day. I hope that it goes well. We are, as you can kind of see, wrapping more of the petals. Doing a bit of a petal wrap. Okay, get that to there. The first one's always a bit awkward because you end up with like a lot of space here to here that you want to do stuff with, but you can't really. So I end up normally just putting it straight in the air and then starting to do it at a slight angle. The other thing that I've been doing, which I didn't do on that first one, which I probably should have, honestly, that was a bit ballsy of me, is going over the whole thing with some thread first and then coming back, just to make sure it doesn't like move around too much as I'm doing it. So do like a little crisscross on it and then come back. There we go. Oh. And then just very, very slowly filling it up. Ah dear, Dem streams are 4 PM your time. God, that's actually pretty good. That's a nice evening stream. For me, Dem streams start at like 5 in the morning. 6 in the morning, very, very early. Other than Saturdays, where I think they still start quite early, but it's not too bad. I guess because they go longer, maybe is what it is. But I can sometimes watch them on a Saturday. Sometimes, actually, no, that's not true, because sometimes they start like an hour before I start. That's not too bad. Like my morning. So yeah, so I need to get some sleepies. Oh, that's fair. Heck, and get some sleep so you have lots of energy for Halloween. Heck yeah. I hope you enjoy Halloween. Is anyone in chat dressing up for Halloween this year? I haven't really decided if I want to dress up for stream later, because I don't have any costumes that really fit Resident Evil. So I'm like, oh, maybe I don't dress up. I don't know. I have costumes, obviously. I have costumes for days, just none of them are particularly spooky. And there's a couple that I do not know where they are. Like Pumpkaboo, no idea. I'm sure it's around, but I think it's in a bag rather than on a hanger, which means I can't find it. Ah dear. Dun 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 dun. Okay. So we'll get started on the next one, and then I'm going to fold it again. It gets a bit easier after this though, because then I can start folding them where they're meant to be. Okay, they're nice and filled in. So that one, for instance, will end up being there. I'm going to fold this one forward again. There you go. Nice. And then let's go over the whole thing. Thread the thread, heck yeah. So much thread. Literally going to sort of buy a onesie calling it a costume. I think that's absolutely valid. Listen, you know, you're going to be very comfortable and warm and cozy on Halloween, and there is nothing wrong with that. That's very valid. Good costume. Oh dear. I do have, it's not really like a onesie though, it's like a bodysuit, and it's way too big for me. But I have like a mummy style. Like, I don't know where it is though. I do have it. It's way too big for me though. It's very, very baggy. It came with like a matching bum bag as well, which is really funny. It's like a bandage bum bag. Oh. Go. And keep going. Bam, 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 bam. Are you dressing up later, Shifty? Also, Shifty, do you get trick-or-treaters? I'm just curious. Anyone here get trick-or-treaters? I'm really hoping we get trick-or-treaters. We've got so much candy. Maybe. Is it like sometimes sort of thing? Ah, dear. Oh no, maybe for a costume, and yes, I get trick-or-treaters. Ooh. Ah, dear. Before I go, have you ever seen an old Disney movie, Under Wraps? I think you'd love it. I have not. I'll be honest, I don't really watch a lot of films though. I might love it, but I really struggle to sit down for long periods of time if I'm not busy. Like, this kind of thing is good because it gets me to sit down for a long period of time, because it still requires some level of focus. But movies, I can't sit and relax and watch a movie. Doesn't make me feel relaxed. Does not spark joy. Here we go. Oh, yeah. Shady Johns! Get that up there. Keep just folding them. There you go. Do they look very different to you before and after? I think they do. I think they look a little bit more three-dimensional. There you go, okay. Because otherwise, I mean, I'm not going to do it with just paper. That is one thing though, is this is not going to be a very waterproof costume. Oh, also, I had an idea. Okay. Excuse me, sorry. I had idea for the dress. I do want to still use, what are they called? Fiber optic lights. I still want to do that just for all of the tendrils and stuff. I think that would look really, really good. However, this we might have to do a bit of a stream goal for this, because this would be a bit expensive. It would be really cute to have little smoke machines near the lower parts of the dress. Since the dress is already going to be pretty, not really, really heavy, not like Mateus heavy, but like it's going to be a little bit more on the bulky side because we're adding so much to the base of the dress. We could, you know, add stuff like that and it wouldn't be a detriment. Plus you never see under the dress. So it would be pretty easy to sneak that in there. And then as we're floating across the floor, it would give like the misty effect coming out. I don't know, I thought it'd be cute. Again, we're sneaking closer and closer to SFX, unfortunately, but I think I'm gonna have the same thing with this costume, even though it's a completely different costume, and that, like, listen, it's predominantly sewing techniques, however, there is a fair amount of SFX in it, so it might be an SFX costume. We'll see. Oh, Decard's outlook? Oh, I mean, neither. I mean, I think just, I'm really looking forward to having a box of flowers. So I'm gonna have to buy a new plastic box for that, but every time we complete a flower, for the meantime, I'm just gonna put it in the box, kind of thing, so that when we put it together, we put it all together in one go. Because otherwise, if we start adding like a flower here, a flower there, we might end up disliking what we're doing. Also, it's not even a hair. What is that? Something. Like fluff? Maybe it's from my sweatpants. It could be from my sweatpants. Sweatpants fluff? Yeah, sweatpants fluff. Bah. Oh dear. Yeah, I'm really looking for, it's a long way off. This is way after Christmas probably. But when we have all the flowers done and we're kind of ready to start putting it together, doing the streams where we put everything on the dress, like, because it'll probably be pinned to a mannequin, right? And then we'll just be slowly but surely adding each bit in, and I'm very excited for that. That's going to be a really fun stream. I might be doing some sewing. Oh yeah! Ooh, that's very exciting. Are you going to be doing, if you don't mind me asking, a similar setup to Vile, or will you just not be doing it on stream, just for like a personal hobby kind of thing? Okay. There we are. Just getting that to a good point where I can bend it. A bit further than the others, but I think that's okay. Wait a minute. Oh, no, it's that way. Oh, dear. Oops. There we go, and just flatten that a little bit. There we go. Nice. Oh dear, that was my bad. I got confused, I bent it the wrong way. Probably off stream for this, gonna try sewing with patterns first. Very fair. Very fair. If you need any help or if you have any questions, just ask. Of course, as always. I don't know that I'll always be able to help. Terminology is not my strong suit. But I'll definitely give it a go. I'll be doing the Shifty cosplay on stream though! Yes! How far are you away now? Because I have seen that you have been gaining some followers. It must be sneaking up on it, right? I'm sending a lot of messages. There's help, everything's on fire. What's going on? How do you read this? What is this? Oh dear. Gaining, but I've been gaining but a long way to go. Okay. Oh dear. Well, if you guys haven't already, go follow Shifty. Shifty has the goal to try making a cosplay on stream if they hit their follower goal. Was it 500 or 400? So if you haven't followed them, thank you for doing the Shifty shout out. If you haven't followed them, now would be a great time because then you could actually catch that stream when they hit the goal. Yeah, 500, okay. Oh dear. Go. And get that across there. These little ones are quite quick. I was making them the other day and I was realizing I was just zooming through them. That's why I've got so many petals. We only made like 6 on stream and now I've got loads. But remake them out of red I think would be a good longevity point. But yeah, these little ones, they zoom past. And also once you've got like a good posture for it, which I know this probably doesn't look like a good posture, but it works really well. Because I can just have the thread like here, and then it's great. It doesn't move it too much. Also, I do need to sit up straight though. I still need to sit up straight. That's still important. Go. Ah, does Shifty sing? I've heard Shifty sing. Oh my god! Awesome, Val! Oh heck! Welcome on in! How are you doing? We are making more petals, but later on today I'm going to be playing some Resident Evil 6 with Shifty. So that will kind of be like our Halloween spooky part of the stream. Because this bit, it might be a spooky costume, but it's not really spooky. It's just, you know, wrapping thread. I would say that it's not too spooky. The thread is red. Thank you so much for 19 months though, Jesus. How are you doing after yesterday's stream? So for those who aren't aware, Vile, Dem and Bateman were streaming for 12 hours yesterday on the Boobtober channel for the final like celebration stream for Breast Cancer Awareness Month. How was it? Was it good? I mean, I saw quite a bit of it to be quite honest. I told you I was watching it on the train and then of course turned it on when I got back to the house as well. So I did see quite a lot of it. Ah dear. Might have sung a bit last night actually. Ooh, have you got the VOD? A little bit of RE6, just a little bit of RE6. Heck yeah. The best Resident Evil game. There we go. Oh dear. Glad I could join for most of it. Heck yeah. I'm glad I could join for even a little bit of it, honestly. It was lovely. A very fun stream. Lots of Fall Guys. Go. And right. There we go. And oh, actually, I have a question. So on my mobile, that's what I was watching it on the train yesterday. I'm not logged into Twitch on my mobile, so I just kind of typed in Boobtober and found the stream and stuff like that. I did it very much manually because obviously, although I normally follow Boobtober because I wasn't logged in, that won't show up. But do you count as a viewer if you're not logged into a Twitch account? I'm just wondering. Because I was there for hours, but obviously like I wasn't logged into Twitch, so I don't know if it counts. Okay, let's get that around there and then whoop whoop. And there we go. Got a bit of sleep finally, bless you. I'm glad you managed to get some sleep after. What was it? You were like coasting on 1 hour yesterday, you said, or something like that. A ridiculously low amount of sleep, I think it was. I may have sang 24 songs in oh my god. Heck! That's a lot of songs. Jesus. Was that you, George? Heck. There we go. Wah. And do another little knot. Only an hour. Yeah, that's like a very low amount of sleep to come into a 12-hour stream with. Bless you, did a really good job though, all of you. Do I want to... I'll hold on to that for now. And then just do a little bit of shaping. I'm not going to bend them all or anything like that yet because best to paint them first is what I was finding before bending them into the shape they'd be in. But yeah, so I can see on this one, for instance, there's a little bit of the red showing through there. And you can still see it, but it's a lot more subtle. And I just feel happier with it looking like that rather than what they look like otherwise. It's only when you bend it, it moves some of the threads around a little bit. If I wrap them tighter, it might not be a problem, but I kind of want them to maintain their shape. So yeah, I'll keep it like this for now. Oh, actually, wait. Sorry, I do need to bite every single one. Very important. We rigged a pole. Isn't that a mod's job? Is to rig the poles? I am also actually just realized I want to do this. I'm gonna have to tie that again, but that's okay. Yeah, so I was doing this on some of the later ones just because it really well holds the bigger petals in place. The smaller ones don't need it quite so much, but since I was doing it anyway, just putting some of the thread around the petals and tying that off. Yeah, it just holds them nicely. Yeah. There we go. And that should go straight down. Ah, it looks so good. Right, one. I'm much happier with it on red, to be honest. We will still need to paint all of them, but that's okay. We can do that. Let me have some tea really quickly. Like, I've accepted my fate. I think so. Ooh. Ah, nice. Having a nice relax with some tea is important. Ah, dear. Ah, right. Let's set up the next one. Oh, I can do it here now. Heck yeah. All right, we'll make more threes. We're just gonna get all the threes done for now. Did my music ping? Ping, come back. Come back, music. It's fine, we've still got things to do. There we are. So I need 6 again. That's 5, 6, there we are. And attach them to the wire. Same as before. The smaller ones are a lot easier to do all this with, to be honest. It's the big ones that gets really hard because they're like sticky and like trying to move constantly. These ones, it's not too bad. Excuse me. And it also helps that I'm not using sketchbook paper anymore because, my God, I would not recommend if you're trying to do this to use sketchbook paper. It's just too soft and like the sticky tape will rip through it constantly. It's just not worth it. It's not worth it at all. It's 1. And oh yeah, for anyone who wasn't here earlier, we have a bit of a goal on stream at the moment. It's nothing to do with you guys, it's just like that I want to do. If you've streamed on Twitch, you'll know Twitch gives you achievements for hitting certain things. I very specifically would like to hit the achievement where it says stream 25 days in 1 month. I would be curious if anyone in chat has managed to get that achievement as well, because how have you done that? How have you managed to stream 25 days in 1 month? I want to know, and I also need to know because I'm going to go for it this November. I'm gonna try and stream 25 days in 1 month. But like, that's a lot. That's a lot of days. Like 20 maybe I could understand because that's like your Monday to Friday. But this is like Monday to Saturday, and 1 week I think it has to be the whole week. I don't quite remember. It's something like that. It's a ridiculously high amount. Sorry. So where's all this glitter coming from? So my hand is like covered in glitter and there's nothing glittery here. Where's all this glitter coming from? Why is my hand so sparkly? And I have that. I've got some Photoshop work to do later. I need to make Biteman. Heck yeah. Someone in my community streams 660. Do you mind if I ask, are they a 3D printer? Is it like one of the 3D print streams? Because I do sometimes see them going for like ridiculously long time. Oh dear. I thought you were wearing a fancy dress blue for a moment, then just realised it's the overlay. Yes, it's the overlay. That's not me down there. Welcome in, Grando. I hope you're doing well. Oh dear. We are just getting more petals done. This time though, we're using red paper rather than white so that if any of the threads move, it still looks neat underneath. Yes, yes, yes. Oh dear, at least 1 hour a day. Oh, be back after food? That's fine. Get yourself some snacks. Now, sometimes it'll be chill puzzle talk stream. Oh, okay. Heck. So I guess, yeah, you don't have to stream for like 4 hours every single day, do you? That being said, I just don't know if I can get into a crafting groove after 1 hour. Like, I like long craft sessions. Oh dear, it's not bad. It's good to see. It's good to see you too. How are the new digs? Everything's going pretty okay. We're still renovating our house. I was gonna make a different costume, but now I'm making this one. We had a bit of a 180 on the costume we were making, and then this one I'm very, very hyped about. So I think it was the right decision to make. So we've done a bit of a 180 on the costume, but I'm having a nice time with it. Heck yeah. Oh dear. Bop bop bop. Beep bop bop. Bop beep bop bop. I spawned Jenny's 25 Dame Stream Above challenge. Heck yeah. And the thing is, goodbye. So, 2 seconds. Where is it? Honestly, reaching my hand blindly into a hole is very Silent Hill. Where is... in there somewhere. Where is it? Oh, I cannot feel it at all. Oh, it doesn't help that it's only 3 centimeters, huh? Oh, got it. Heck yeah. Oh, damn it, Matt, welcome on in. Could you also stream from your phone? I can't, unfortunately. My phone's not a good phone. If I had a better phone, I could. I am actually planning on buying one in the next month, because my old phone is dying. I've had it for like 5 years, and it's... not only is it on its last legs, it's not really a suitable phone for what I want to do anymore. So yeah, we'll be changing that. His goal was every day at least 1 hour or more, depending on how he felt. Aww, that's kind of nice. I know that I won't be able to stream every day, because obviously, like, I am still kind of bound by migraines, and there will be days where I just will not be able to get out of bed. But I'm going to try and do as many as possible. And that's why if I don't hit it this month, I'm not going to go too hard on myself. Like, at the end of the day, I can't control very much if I have lots and lots of bad migraines. And, like, the last couple months have been really bad for it in particular. So, if that happens, it happens. But we're going to try. We're going to start... I'm starting this goal. I want to give it a good try. Okay, get that there. Make sure my thread is all untwisty. Suppose I may have watched streams for 606 days in a row, so I could assume. So I could have streamed it if I was dedicated enough. Heck yeah! I just see it every time I go into my dashboard. It's like, try and get this achievement. I'm like, you know what, Twitch? Okay, I do kind of want to get that achievement. You're right. You have motivated me. I will give that a go. If anyone's wondering why I'm suddenly streaming a ton more, I want the achievement. Okay. They put a shiny thing in front of my face and I was like, yeah, that, I want that. And just pull that. There you go. Nope. Okay, that's fine. As long as it's around there somewhere. That first bit's a little messy, but it's okay. We'll live with it. And just go up there. Okay. Cool. Oh dear, and this is when Biteman and Boat would come in handy. I want that. I want that heckin' achievement. I see it every time I go in my dashboard. Like, try streaming 25 days in a month, and I've always been like, Twitch, that's a kind of an intense ask, honestly, of someone who is a hobbyist streamer. But you know what? The time has come. I want that. I want that achievement. I want to stream 25 days in a month, and I let everybody know, so my family is aware that I'm going to be aiming for it. So that if I'm streaming a lot more than usual, don't worry about it, family. I'm being careful. Ah, dear. It'd just be nice to get it, you know? Just be nice. Lots of Animal Crossing. True, I can also play more games. If I'm streaming more, I can do different things a bit more. I mean, I definitely am very... what do you call it? I'm very interested in making this costume right now. So, like... there probably will be a lot more costume streams just because like this is something that I want to do. Honestly, especially after seeing the World Championships this weekend, I'm hyper motivated now to like. You see people who just do what you enjoy better than you, and you're like, yeah, I wanna do that. I wanna be that good. So I'm going to be doing this a bit more because I am now in a high motivation state. A state of large motivation. Honestly, if you can go, I know that you had to buy the ticket on the day, although I do think a few places were streaming it. If you can go and watch it, like honestly, I'd recommend it. Or honestly, you could just check out the cosplayers who were involved. I'm pretty sure they are on the MCM website that you can find them. Or you could just type in Crown Championships on Twitter and probably everyone would pop up, because all of the entries were fantastic. It is the best of the best of the best, you know? So everyone who entered is fantastic. And seeing that many amazing cosplayers next to each other, it's very motivating, at least for me, to be like, I want to hit that level of cosplay. I want to be that good. I didn't. MCM, never heard of it. MCM is the biggest convention, convention in the UK. Like Comic-Con style convention, I should say. There's probably bigger conventions for other things. But MCM London specifically is the biggest Comic-Con style convention in the UK. And they, this year, held the, finals for the World Championships of Cosplay, which means all of the world champions came to London. Or all of the country champions came to London. And of course, then Amazonia Cosplay was representing the UK this year. And we won. The Amazonia won. We have the person who is now the world champion of cosplay is the UK representative. Heckin' crazy. Oh dear. Very, very cool. Did they absolutely boosted my stream on the charity event? Oh, I have 100. Oh yeah, I read that. Heck yeah, really cool to see. Oh dear. Oh, I should say as well, thank you to everyone who's been popping by my streams this month. I obviously had a bit of a rough month for many reasons, and I had to take like a full week and a bit off midway through the month because of some family circumstances that weren't super happy. And everyone's been so supportive. I actually have an average of 50 viewers this month, which is quite a lot. They're a lot more than I'm used to. So thank you everyone for coming and supporting on what would normally have been a very, very difficult month. Because normally if you take a break on Twitch, what happens, for at least from what I've seen, is that you know, people don't really come back as much. Like, if you take a break, a lot of your regulars and stuff like that will just kind of maybe not come back as often after that. So people, you know, taking a break on Twitch can be quite hard for a lot of people, knowing that it can have like a direct result on their statistics. But like, this is one of the least streamed months for me, like as far as how many streams I've done and how long I've been streaming. I have not been streaming nearly as much as I normally would, and yet. So thank you everyone for all the support. Oh, was this arc? Oh, you know what? It's fine, because there are probably some people in here that don't actually know what MCM is. Ah, dear. I remember seeing Alexandra a couple years ago. Yeah, so good. It was so cool to see. Oh, she was so sweet when she won. It was so cool. I love her. Oh dear. Oh, Feathered, good morning. I hope you're doing well. Happy Halloween, Feathered. Are you dressing up later or nah, not today? I'm still deciding. I haven't made a solid decision. I might just wear the mummy costume because it's comfortable and it looks like pajamas. Oh dear. True, will always support. Oh, thank you. No, everyone's been so supportive this month. And again, like I'll be honest, I don't normally look at stats too much. I do this as a hobby predominantly, and so it's not super my main focus. But I expected, like when I looked a couple days ago, that it would have gone. Because I took a whole week off. I streamed very short when I came back. Like, you know, I took things very slow, which was good for me because that's what I needed. But I didn't think it'd be very good as far as Twitch went. But it's not been the case. We've had more viewers, more followers, more average viewers than the previous months combined. I don't know what happened, but thank you so much everyone who's popped along. It's been very, very kind. Oh dear. And to you, I just got back from con and I can't, no, that's very fair actually. Yeah, oh yeah, of course, I saw your Granny Weatherwax. Yeah, it looked fantastic. You were so cool. You were so hecking cool. I saw it on Instagram, I completely forgot. Oh dear. So hecking cool. People unaware here in MCM is the largest convention company in the UK. It used to be the company, yeah, there we go. Ah dear, a proper rundown. It's a really fun convention if you're in the UK. Would recommend. It's a bit expensive, and London gets very expensive around the time that MCM is held. However, it is fun. It is fun. They have some big competitions there as well. Go see Zoe Cos take the prize. Illinois section of the crowd. I was there, managed to get 3 rows from the front. Oh my god, you were so close. Heck yeah. Oh, honestly, obviously I was watching it from my parents' house. I was all the way back there. But my mum and me did a little happy dance when she was announced as winner. Yeah, it was lovely. Really, really nice. Honestly, what a nice day. London once looked far too busy to the point of, hey, close to the doors to manage the guests better on Saturday. Yeah, Saturday is always insanely busy. A lot of people do just buy the Saturday ticket because it's like, you know, one of the bigger days. Friday, I'd say the quietest day. If you're someone who struggles with crowds but really wants to attend MCM, Friday will be the day for you. Because honestly, Saturday and Sunday are so busy. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's still busy on Friday. I'm not going to act like it's a ghost town. It's not. But it is a lot quieter. I've done MCM so many times now. Unfortunately, this year, I did go to MCM, but I had wicked food poisoning the entire time I was there. So I ended up spending more time in A&E than I did in the convention, which is not the kind of flex you really want to have when you're traveling to another country to go to a convention, but it is what it is. I don't know if I'll be going next year as well, just because obviously with financial situation, trying to get the house done, it's quite an expensive convention. But hopefully the year after. Ah, dear. I was on screen a lot. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Oh, dear. Honestly, everyone was so good. I would have loved to see all of their costumes up close, to be quite honest. Like, everyone was fantastic. The Witcher costume, really, really cool. There were just some fantastic costumes there. It would have been really cool as well because one of the judges sometimes hops by, Samir. It would have been really cool to see them in person, but that's okay. And they were in costume. Oh, it's alright, it's alright. Oh dear. Pro, welcome on in, but thank you for the luck. I hope you're doing well. Oh, you're going to the Brum one? Heck yeah. I hope you enjoy yourself, Gran. I was going to catch a glimpse of your stream when I work, because technically do be here, but got to leave you on browser phone. Firefox browser with backgrounds window app is dope. Oh yeah, sick. Also, thank you. No, take care of yourself. Have a good luck. I hope work goes well, Pro. Oh, also, what is this? There you go. That's my fault. The reason that happened is because I haven't folded this up. I've not been looking after it. There you go. It's just giving me a little nudge to be like, do that better. It was insane on Saturday. Like Studio J said, it was bordering on dangerous when there was just so many people that if something happened, it would have been a big problem. Yeah. This year, the October tickets were more expensive. I wonder if they were selling more of them as well. Because don't get me wrong, May was busy. Saturday at May was the only day that I could go, and it was really busy. But it wasn't like you couldn't move. That being said, there's never enough spaces at the stages. Like, more people want to get in, and it's like, you can't get in. Oh, dear. There you go. Ooh. I know as well at May they had people climbing onto the stage. There wasn't the security there for the panelists. And what else happened? Oh yeah, there was like someone who's a really big content creator on YouTube put on the tiniest stage and was completely overrun. Apparently everyone was really, really sweet there, and like it wasn't too much of a security risk, but like it could have been. Oh dear. Ah dear. I got to meet Samir and Yaya Han in passing and they were so sweet. Oh, I'm so jealous. I would have loved to. I just saw looking at gym clothes. Apparently sleeves cost that. Just get waifu sleeves. Yeah, I know Vile has their waifu sleeves. Like, just get waifu sleeves. You will be the talk of the gym. Saturday in May was like Friday this time. I'd say there was triple the amount of people. That's weird. I swear May used to always be the busier one. I wonder why that is. I guess it could be as well though, because the finals of the World Championships were held there. So a lot of people that have an interest in cosplay would probably actually travel to go see that. That would make a bit more sense, because what else was honestly happening there that would cause it to be that busy? I can't think of anything. Oh, Dick Goat, welcome on in. I hope you're doing well. Welcome, welcome. Oh, I should say Goat. Goat's one of the winners of the hoops, the embroidery hoops. I'm sending yours to Mr. and Mrs. Goat. So if you receive something in the post that says Mr. and Mrs. Goat, that's me. Oh, actually, I don't know if I called you Mr. and Mrs. G Goat. It's either G Goat or Goat. Oh dear. So get ready for that one. Either works. Okay. Yeah. It will come to you as Goat. Another fellow waifu sleeve owner. Damn, I wish I was a waifu sleeve owner. Heck, I want to be with the cool kids who have their waifu sleeves. They weren't giving away anything like that at Amsterdam, which is a shame. I would have loved to have got a waifu sleeve. Are we expecting post? Could it be a trick-or-treater at 10:30 in the morning? Oh my god, that would be so cute. Morning trick-or-treaters. I might go find out in a minute, 2 seconds. I'll finish this one and then I'm going to go bother Shiny and be like, was it a trick-or-treater? Did we get a trick-or-treater at 10:30 in the morning? Oh dear. Is there a VOD of the comp? I wonder, I don't know because you had to pay for the ticket, but didn't Sunkoi do a watch along? Maybe it'd be on there? I'm not sure. Eventually there will be though, because there always is. It always ends up on YouTube one way or the other. So as long as you're a bit patient, it will be there. There we go. Wow. Give me the candy. Sorry, Daisy, I'm already trick-or-treating. No, that's fine. Honestly, you're more than welcome. Ah, dear. We have so much, like, we've probably overbought candy, honestly. We have a lot. We probably have enough for like 50 kids, and I've never had a trick-or-treater, so I didn't know. I didn't know what to do, so we're just like, get extra. Better to have too much than too little. Oh dear. Your doorbell sounds like one of those TV shows. Yeah, our doorbell's comically loud as well. I think the previous owners, because it's their doorbell, of course. I think the previous owners of the house maybe were a little bit deaf, because our doorbell is so loud. Oh dear. Also, Chelsea, welcome on in. Thank you for the follow. We're making petals for flowers. Ah dear. Silent, welcome on in. Are you giving out wine gums? No, what we have is... we have the Haribo packs, so the Tangtastic, the Lips, and the Standard. We have lollies, like... get out of here. We have lollies like just Chubbs lollies. We have Curly Whirlies. We have Freddos in caramel and standard and fudge. We have Maltesers bags. And then we have like the hero set. Do you think it's enough? Do you think we got enough? I should say as well, with the Haribo and the lollies, we had 2 packs of each of those. So like, however much you're thinking, double it. Double that. Oh dear. Oh, we know it's a ding dong ditch. Oh god. Dan, dan, dan. Okay, get that there, and then get this one, and wrap that around here. Wow. And around there. And then, yeah, the other one I didn't get to do as many threads on, so this one I'm really making up for it and doing loads. That's okay though. Better to have too many than not enough. 2 kids come for Halloween with costumes this year. I will go dark and I will not speak enough. No costumes, no candy. I think we're going to be doing, if they don't have a costume, they get 1 piece of candy. If they have a costume, they get a few. So we'll still give them candy, just at reduced rates, you know? We are a costuming household. You do not come to my house not in costume. Every time Shifty wants to fit it, they have to come in full costume, and I accept nothing else. Only full costumes here, I'm afraid. We're a costuming household. They're coming to get the candy. Heck yeah. Also, Andrew, welcome on in. Happy Spookmas. Happy Spookmas. We've managed to make 6 petals so far. They are the smaller ones, but listen, we made them. These are our petals. I do need to brush around the threads a little bit, but hell yeah. Also, which one have I not bitten? I've not bitten this one. A really important part of making flowers is to bite them. Are you really making flowers if you don't bite them? No. There you go. Important, very important. Underratedly important, you might even say. There we go. Just gets the ends nice and pointy. So Kai Jelly doesn't have a costume, still gives candy. I'll still give candy, just one. I have a costume so I could. Heck yeah! Shifty, get over here. We'll play Resident Evil 6 in person with one computer. That can't go wrong. Ah, dear. I had to crack the first. God damn it. Ah, dear. Trick or treat, I'm gonna go fly through the door and tackle the skinwalkers. Oh god. Ah, dear. Put mum hat on. Use pliers instead of your teeth. No! This is a mouth job, not a hand job. Maybe not the best way of putting it, but no, it's good. You gotta use your mouth. It's important that you get as much spit as possible on your costume. Right, 2 seconds. I'm gonna leave you on that statement, and I'll be back in just a second to see if it was trick-or-treaters. If it's not, I'm gonna take candy. Dear, what have I missed? What have I missed? Sorry, it was not trick-or-treaters, it was actually a birthday card, which was still really, really nice. Oh dear. Blanket, please. Blanket, please. Back to warmth. Oh wait, no, it's gone. What's happened? Why are you the wrong way around now? I stopped wearing you for just a minute. There you go. What have I missed? What have I missed? Oh god, that's not a good quote. Yeah, that's very much how the answer and any discussions I'm still not well versed enough. Teeth are nature's pliers. Oh god. Halloween's still a difficult subject. If you get any trick-or-treaters, whack them with your chainsaw. A lot. And Skittles stuff next to the door over the weekend in case anyone knocked and not a single person. Oh, Ultra, I'm sorry. We're really hoping that we get some because we've got a lot of candy. Way too much candy, probably. Oh dear. Yeah, that's a doozy of a quote, huh? Right, 3. Any of the others are 3s. That's a 3. That's a 3. I probably have quite a few 3s and 4s, honestly, because I think I cut them out from 2 sheets. Could be wrong. I think so, though. There you go. 3s. Ah, dear. This music has lots of little bells. I thought you had a doorbell something. Not another doorbell. No, I did get reminded by Shiny kindly that the trick-or-treaters are probably at school right now because it's a Monday and it is not the correct time for them to be out and about. So I didn't really think of that. I completely forget that people go to school sometimes. But yeah, he's probably right. It probably is they're in school or something, and that's why we haven't had any yet. But soon. Give us the candy. I would. You just have to come to the house and I'll give you the candy. Oh, that's a 4, not a 3. There you go. That's a 3. Ah, dear. Oh, it's half term. Oh, is it? So they could be here this early then. I'm going to go tell Shiny that when I go back downstairs later. Be like, well, Shiny, you know how you said I was being silly because trick-or-treaters would be at school? Well, joke's on you. They're actually on half term. Got him. You can send candy my way. I've already taped up your package though. I have put one extra little thing in there. But it's not candy, I'm afraid. Oh dear. Exactly what the local diabetic needs. Ah dear. I don't know, in North Wales it's half term, but a lot of England half term was last week. So it's probably half term, right? Probably. I'm still in Wales. Ah dear. I want it to be half term so I can have the got 'em moment. I think the more excited because they are. I've never seen a trick-or-treater. Like, never even seen one. So, yes, you know, I am very excited because never in my entire 27 years have I ever seen a trick-or-treater. And I've never lived in a good place for it, to be honest, so it's like, there's fair reason. But I would like to. It's definitely half term in Wales. Okay. So they could be here anytime. Oh dear. I think they'll probably come before the second stream I do today though. So again, like I mentioned earlier, I'm going to be streaming RE6 with Shifty later today at 6 o'clock GMT. But I think they'll probably come before that because our street gets pretty dark. And I mean, maybe they'll come after dark, but it really is quite dark on our street. Most of the street lamps don't turn on. So it's pretty, like, I don't feel safe going out after dark, let alone like a child. So, I don't know. I feel like if we get them, it'll be before 6. To go out when it's dark or just before. Yeah, but like, surely you have like well-lit streets if that's the case, because like, you're just fumbling around the dark here. Oh dear. I bet trick-or-treating around here is any time from 5 to 8. Okay, so it could be a little later then. I guess if they have their parents with them, it's not quite so bad. So, but yeah, it's very, very dark on our street. Oh dear. Ghosts! Spooks! Yeah, you have to be careful. If you go out too late, you get caught by, what do you call it? The spooks. The spooks on Halloween. That's not a very well done one. I might trim that, actually. Oh, you know what, actually? Nah, I'll be fine. I'll be fine. We'll live with that. All the petals are meant to look a little different anyway, so that'll just look very different. Oh dear, Bear's got some good I know. They do really cute themed emotes. They do Christmas ones as well, I think. I'm pretty sure last year there was Christmas ones. I could be wrong. Wow. Okay, all right. So another line. They're so good. The pumpkin butt one, personal fave. There we go. Dum, 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 dum. And where should I start from? Start from this side. And fold that over. And get that in there. God. These really tiny ones. It is a little difficult to poke it up the end. Not impossible, but it's just not easy. I could fold it back. There you go. Fold it back. It's kind of cheating, but also it's my costume. Okay. I do what I have to make it easier. Nice. That's a good butt there. A good sparkly butt. Ah, dear. Poke it up where? Poke it up in there. So there's like, I can fold it back, the flap. And then I can poke it in there because it's sticky. And that means that the thread will stay. Because I slit them all so like they have two little flaps on either side. And obviously the flaps are full of double-sided sticky tape. So I just like poke it in there. And then the thread attaches to the inside of the flap. And then I don't have to worry about starting it. I can do no knots, not a single knot. Easy. The keys are nice and neat as well. Last time I had a bit of trouble with it because there's no entrance to the flaps. And I couldn't get past anything. And it was just like, well, I just kind of have to wrap it up in there. Oh dear. Was this base? It was. Actually, yeah, Feathered is still here. We can blame Feathered for this. This is all Feather's fault. All of it. Feathered posted one picture in the Discord and I was like, yeah, you know what? Yeah. I will now spend like 6 months of my life doing that. Thanks, Feathered. So yeah, if you want to blame someone, there we go. We blame Feathered Phoenix. It's their fault. Ah, dear. Well done, Feathered. Well done, Feathered. Oh no, that was coming off. Wait. I'll go a bit further and then I'll attach it. Okay, there you go. And just do that. There we are, and then back down again. Hopefully that'll hold it just for a second while I finish this one. I think so. I think so. I think that's thick enough. There we go. Wait, what did I do? I mean, usually it is my fault, but I'd like to know what I'm being blamed for. So the video that you posted in the Discord with how to make the flowers in a different way, specifically like the chrysanthemums, that's what I'm doing. I'm doing the same thing from the video, except rather than using a slightly thicker embroidery thread, I'm just using like a slightly thicker sewing thread, because it's cheaper and I have to do a lot of these. So yeah, that's what you're getting blamed for, Feathered. Oh dear. I want to get sleeveless tee because it is $5 less than the sleeve tee, but I don't know how I feel. What should I do? I mean, if you're going to the gym, you want to be comfortable. I understand wanting to save the money, but also if you're going to be uncomfortable every time you go to the gym, it probably is better to spend the extra $5 and get the sleeves. I mean, only you can really say what you're going to be comfortable with, though. That's up to you. Go back up there. Ah dear. Okay, I'll take blame then. Yeah, it's your fault, Feathered. How could you? How could you get me into another new craft that fortunately I do have all the equipment for? Oh my god, Stars! Welcome on in! How was your stream and what did you get up to? Was somebody mind shouting out Stars? How was your stream? We're doing like just generally making flowers this morning. We're going to be doing a spooky stream later this evening. Oh dear, thank you! There we go. Yeah, how did it go? What did you get up to? Unless you, of course, have to go run suddenly. That's fine. If that's the case, you go. You go. I can show you a couple of... I just need to get this bit sort of settled. And then I can show you the petals we've made so far today. We were wrapping them around white, but I was just finding that wrapping them around white meant that if the wire moved at all, it would be quite clearly visible. Also, excuse me, I'm just going to bite it. So now we're doing it around red. And honestly, I'm a lot happier with how it looks. These are the ones we've made so far. Look at them. They're little thread petals.
Excuse me.
Oh wait, that's backwards. Ah yes, unravel it. That's great, Jelly. Good job. I'm just gonna go a little further than usual this time because this next bit is not looking super attached, and yeah, there we go. Just like to get it a little bit attached so that I don't accidentally rub it off as I'm going. Hell yeah. And then back through there. The stream was good. Was doing some I do have to go there. Oh my god, yeah, it's so early and the otter is tired. You're fine. Take care, get some Z's, and thank you so much for popping by. Anyone who's new here, hello. My name is Jelly. I make cosplays predominantly. Sometimes we play games, but predominantly I just really like making costumes. We're making the one you can see on stream at the moment, which is from the Silent Hill F trailer, although more specifically we're just making tons and tons of flowers because we need loads and loads of flowers before we can start putting the dress together, and we're making all the flowers by hand. Bam, 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 bam. Bam, 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 bam. Oh yeah, and if you haven't seen the trailer, there it is. Thank you, Vile. It is a horror, but it's very cool. Honestly, it's beautiful. This costume is beautiful. My mum really liked this costume too. She said, "What's the new costume?" And I showed her a picture, and she was like, "Aww, aww." And then she tried to go looking for some accurate references for intestines for me, but she said they were all a bit too much probably. So, but I appreciated the thought. There we go. And keep going. Wow. Welcome on in. I hope you're having a good day, Classic Jelly Mom. Classic Jelly Mom is like, let me go have a look at some of my nurse's journals and see if I have like a photorealistic intestine for you. Unfortunately, they were all just she said they were intestines, but there was clearly something wrong with all of them, just different things. So it probably wasn't very good for someone who wanted like a relatively healthy intestine model. And I was like, I appreciate the thought. Thank you. Thing is, she went away and did it without a word, so I didn't even know what she was going to look for. She just left. Where's she gone? What's going on? Oh, I guess it's fine. She'll be back later. And then she just comes back like, yeah, the intestines aren't quite right. And it's like, okay, Mum. Oh dear. But no, I did appreciate the thought. Very heckin' sweet. Oh dear. How are you doing, Hut? Hut, did you know that I'm making a different costume now? Did you know that I have completely changed the costume I was going to make for TwitchCon? And we are now making this. Because honestly, I have so much fun making flowers, and I'm very passionate about horror, and I'm inspired at the moment, and this is what we're making. What a lovely grotesque monstrosity. Oh dear. I think my parents might have played more Silent Hill games than I have as well, which is a bit embarrassing. I need to up my game, play more Silent Hill. Oh dear. Oh, awesome. Heck yeah. I want to be covered in flowers. Oh. Yeah, I'll be honest, when I told them Silent Hill, I didn't really expect them to know what I was talking about. And they were like, oh yeah, we've played those. I was like, what do you I remember you playing those. But then I guess if it was a horror game, they would have played it when I was like gone to bed or something. That's probably why. I really don't remember them playing horror games. But then they did have a few games that I guess would be a bit closer to horror. But they were like silly horror, and those were the ones that I remember, like the Immortal and stuff like that. I don't remember them playing any actual legitimate horror games. Oh, but clearly they did. Right, music, please. This is the second time now. There you go. Get me back in there. Good. Oh dear, awesome. How's your costume going? When I've been seeing the artwork on Instagram, it looks lovely. Very hecking smooth and neat. Very satisfying. For those who aren't aware, Hut is also someone who is looking to enter TwitchCon Paris 2023. And I think you're entering larger than life, if memory serves. So if you're interested in checking out some other cosplayers who are doing this kind of thing, check out Hut. They work with legitimate metal. Oh. There we go. And spool that round there. And then all the way back. And there you go. Keep going. Going well, the first 2 layers of the breastplate should be done by the end of the day. Oh, heck yeah. Oh my god, you're zooming. Wow, wow. Blacksmithing and leather. Oh yeah, true. I always bring up the the blacksmithing because it's like not something you see so much in cosplay, but the leatherworking is also very important. Oh yeah. Ba ba ba. Oh dear. I honestly don't know if I can nod my head as much as that emote does. Oh, there you go. And down there. Yeah! Yeah! Okay. Get that around there. And around there. Okay. We can go on to the last one. I should honestly just swap and do from the other side at this point, because there's no need for me to keep trying to wrap around that when I could just turn it over and do the other side. But I always forget that I can do that. And then get all that attached, and then we'll finish that last one. And I think that'll be all. Oh no, there's more 3s. Okay, we could do another round of 3s. Might as well get all the 3s done because they're small and they go quickly, and it makes me feel like super productive. Yeah. Ah, dear, neck-breaking nod. It's a very intense nod. Also rewatched Overlord and totally not been distracted by the idea of Albedo armor flappy wings. Oh, have you also got distracted by something new and shiny? Heck yeah, as long as it's not just me, you know? Out of my gym clothes, now I wait. Heck yeah. Very nice. There we go, just get that along to there. Dun, 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 dun. Wow. Question, also for chat, as many streamers here. I knew a chat stream yesterday. Named 20 actresses a challenge. I'm not into stuff, so I don't name. They asked for 15 singers, same answer, try to stay polite, but want to say I'm not performing monkey. It's difficult because people do just come in and do that. What I would say is you can't just ignore people, and like I do that. That's what I do most of the days. If people come in and they're like not respecting boundaries, but like not really doing anything ban-worthy, I just ignore them and they tend to go away. If they then keep posting the same message over and over, I time them out because that's spamming. Yeah. You don't have to respond to someone. Like you can just blank them out. Yeah. Or, yeah, honestly, you're a very nice person, so this might not work, but you can just do the don't know, don't care, and keep going. And that will normally give people the idea that you are not interested. Some people will ask because they are genuinely, they think it's a fun thing to do and they don't mean any harm or anything like that. But at the end of the day, if it's not something you want to talk about, your stream has to be a fun place for you. And if someone is making it not a fun place for you, then they're the one who goes. Nothing you do. They leave. Because they're not being a fun person to hang around with. But again, I'm maybe a bit more nasty than you, so I don't know how well that you'll handle that, because you're a sweet bean. I used to be a sweet bean, no longer. Retail has hardened me. Oh dear. I don't know how to move on. Yeah, just keep going and then, yeah. And keep going in the morning. Yeah, I'll be honest, these days I'm more than happy to give warnings. Sometimes as well, like, if people are being blunt and not, like, bluntly not caring and just being like, well, you know, you're a streamer and I just want this, I just time them out. They're not, what do you call it, vibe check. They're not passing the vibe check. And if you don't pass the vibe check, you're out. Oh dear. It's a sort of thing that happens more and more as well. Like, that's the sort of thing that you kind of get used to just happening a lot. Unfortunately. Oh, goodbye, sis. Oh no, that's my thread. Okay, I will need to pick that up. I don't know why I thought it was the scissors when I just put down the scissors, but that's okay. Oh, I'll have a look at them in a second. My hands are a little bit full right now. That is the unfortunate bit of doing this, is I can't really go check other things. And if I have, like, the thread, the whole way of doing that, like shouting people out and stuff like that, I'm useless. I cannot do it. I'm holding the thread tight. I can look now though. Good timing. And one of my regular chatters you just mentioned, Rams, I don't know the name, so me and him chatted about that. Yeah, that's a good way of doing it as well. Like just switching the subject a bit. Retail hardened personality. I used to be a sweet bean once, not anymore. Now I am such a hardened bean from having worked in retail for like 10 years. It gets to you, you know? I've also worked in a call center, which I must say is not much better than retail. The only nice thing about the call center is you know people aren't going to literally attack you, which shouldn't really be the benchmark, but there we are. Dear. I died of the first question. No, you do get people who come in like that and they think they're helping. So I've had people do that kind of thing because they're like, well, I just thought you wouldn't know what to talk about, or you didn't seem that chatty, so I figured I'd give you like a prompt. And they think they're doing a good thing, but at the end of the day, if you don't want to say a single word during your stream, it's your stream. You don't have to be chatty. Like, just because some people are doesn't mean that you have to be. And while I think it does help, that sort of engagement, a lot of people come to Twitch to look for that. It shouldn't feel forced down your throat by a viewer to act or behave a certain way. Not very chill. Also, oh my god, I have a lot more threes than I thought I did. 2 seconds, we're gonna cut some more. Oh dear. They'll ask questions in that way, and I know that asking for a fight, I just tend to ignore and get rid of them. This is the thing, you have to make your stream a safe place for you, so like if that's gonna be the best way of doing it, like yeah, nothing wrong with that. People will say things about it online. I'll be like, you're too sensitive, or you're too this, or too that. Bugger that, this is my hobby. I'm here to have a fun time. And if you are in fact not a fun time, you get out. My life, I'm pretty straightforward, but on stream I never really know. I'm pretty chatty and it's fun to watch my streams. The other thing is, if you think you've been too harsh, you can always just be like, you know, sorry, I don't mean to be that intense. But yeah, people will normally get it. My biggest issue is elitism from other hobbies that want to try and give opinions. I try to point out the direction. There's a couple people who I've had come in who regularly come in and do that kind of thing. And probably the moderators might have an idea who I'm talking about. But there are people who come into chat and the only comments they'll ever say is that I'm doing something wrong. I've never banned them because honestly, like, cry more. If it upsets you that much, I kind of want it to keep upsetting you. But like, people will come in and the only things they'll say is, that's not how you should be doing that, and that's not how you should be doing that. And like, there's nothing wrong with constructive feedback, especially when it comes to like stuff like hobbies and being like, have you tried it this way? But like, that's normally the way you'd approach it. Before even knowing what the costume I'm making or why I'm doing something is, you'll get people coming in and saying, you're doing things wrong. This is my heckin' hobby, man. Like, listen, if I ask, fair enough. But if I'm just here having a nice chill time chatting about butts with chat, like, you know, it's a bit of a vibe killer. Oh dear. Honestly, I don't need someone telling me that a mod is worth 20k in a hobby for kids. Yeah, it's like, I'm here to have fun. Yeah, I've had that before. Chats about butts or people being butts, because I've definitely seen the chats about butts in your community. They're everywhere. Oh dear, look at all these butts. Yeah, there are people who I guess it is kind of like elitism, but it's the, I've seen someone else do that better, or you're doing that wrong, stuff like that. The thing is, some of them are streamers, and like, I don't mean this in like a bitchy way necessarily, but other people have asked me about these particular people, and I've been like, yeah, they've been exactly the same way towards me. Like, it's not like streamers don't talk. The idea that all of us, we end stream and never speak to each other is quite funny. Not the case. If you're an asshole to one streamer in a community, likelihood is other people will know that you've done that. Especially since, you know, we all have logs and stuff like that. So yeah, it's maybe not the best move. Not always will it come from streamers as well. Like, sometimes it'll come from just random people. But yeah. Oh dear. Fortunately, we don't get it too often here because I'm obviously not quite the right personality type to really be doing that to. In that, like, I don't care too much. Like, listen, I'll keep you in the chat. You're not getting banned, but you are getting talked about. And honestly, I enjoy that far more. I enjoy being able to go to other people that I like and being like, hey, don't worry about what they're saying to you. They do exactly the same thing to me. It gives me a lot more joy. Oh dear. That's saying I'm doing something wrong. Yeah. Heckin' sucks. The joys of being the only armistice on Twitch says no one's telling me I'm doing it wrong. But you've seen, so Amazonia, who made the metal breastplate, did you see the kind of comments they were getting because they were a woman doing armor smithing? I don't know if you saw her, because like, it doesn't matter if you're one of the best. Amazonia is world cosplay champion now with that costume, and the amount of comments saying that she was doing stuff wrong when she posted that, I would say, I'm pretty sure Amazonia reposted a lot of them on Twitter and stuff like that to be like, guys. In fact, there was even a meme that somebody made about it because so many dudes were saying, you can't armor smith, you're a girl. And it's like, your armor smithing is not so good because you're a woman. And like, it was one of the most toxic places I've seen for a long time. Not Amazonia's fault at all, obviously. Like, and the stuff she's done, again, she is now the world champion. The world champion, the best in the world is what you're looking at. And yet, yeah, it's let me see, because someone made a meme and I saw she reposted it because of how many comments she was getting. Like, it wasn't one or two, it was stacks. Because her cosplay went semi-viral on, I think it went viral on Reddit. A lot of people saw it through that, and she did a whole post about like how she ended up making the bodice and stuff like that. Because again, the bodice is completely metalwork, and it's very, very detailed and very, very complicated metalwork. So it's it is very, very impressive. Let's see, I should be able to find her here. Mega the Bob, there she is. And irritating men on Twitter who said Beth didn't do her own blacksmithing. Beth literally winning the World Cosplay Championship. It's fantastic. Like, and it's got it was so well, like, before this happened, back when she won to be the UK, there was so many people being like on Reddit and Twitter and stuff like that being like, literally is now World Cosplay Champion with that same costume. I think you're wrong. Oh, how the turntables. People seem to forget that streamers talk. They do. They seem to just forget. Like, we've had streamers come into this chat and be like royal assholes for no reason. But a fair few people would have seen it, and like they would have been in chat with other streamers. Like, I don't really know what you gain. You don't have to like me, and that's fine. Listen, I am definitely a Marmite gal. People are not gonna like me, and that's fine. But like, if you're an asshole as a streamer, why? Because most of the people here are here because they don't hate me, and then they'll see you being an asshole, and it's gonna give them an idea of you as a streamer. Yeah. Oh dear. Do things that are above what others do, and sometimes people hobby tell me that they would spend more to make it more exotic materials, and you roll your eyes so hard. Yeah, I get a lot of that as well. Like, why are you bothering doing this? And I'll tell them, you know, I'm trying to keep the price down. They're like, well, it would have looked better if you'd done this. And it's like, okay. Okay, I'm just trying to make a lot of the work that I do a little bit more accessible to the general audience, but sure, fine. And the thing is, there is nothing wrong with spending money on a costume, especially a costume that you really love and you're having a really good time making. But coming into someone's stream and telling them they're not spending oh dear. I'm seeing something in your hands. Oh, yeah. I'm so sorry, Crispy. You caught me mid-rant. We're making petals. So these fold up, we wrap them in thread, fold them up, and they end up looking like this. And we're making chrysanthemums. So like with lots and lots of tiny petals. So these will be turning into that. They're for the costume on screen. Yeah. Get him with the gender bending. I remember watching the part and seeing comments like, oh, look, finally, dude, I'm prepared for what happens when I look more like a girl. Yeah, Twitch is not as bad as what I've seen on Reddit, but it's not particularly checked. And TwitchCon as well, I felt like this for Amsterdam, and I gave it in my feedback. It needed just a little bit more chat moderation. Like, obviously people can have their opinions on what's best and stuff like that, but putting slurs in chat shouldn't be happening. And then obviously what happened at San Diego being 10 times worse than what happened with us, it's like, yeah, I really think enough moderation just to make sure people aren't being racist, sexist, homophobic would be like a really good start. Like, we're not asking for the world, just, you know, simple things like people saying stuff like that. Also, Raven, thank you for the follow, and Crispy, thank you for the follow. It's very kind of you. I'm sorry that you came in. I'm not catty, but I've actively gone out my way to warn. Yeah. And I have absolutely done the same, and I am catty. I am definitely a little bit more on that side than Shifty, and I am happy if people come into my chat and I know that they might be going to other communities to be like, hey, here are their chat logs. These are the kind of things they've been saying to me, just in case you need that. Like, I'd rather do that. You know, to be honest, I'd say that it's really bad, but like, it's not, because you put it on a public platform. If you put it in my chat, the other streamers who might be part of the same community have every right to know the disgusting things you say in my channel. And I am more than happy, especially now that we have ban information sharing, I am more than happy to share that around. Like, I think that's not a bad thing. I think that keeps people who maybe have bad intentions out of your community. Atomic, welcome on in. Atomic, I can't remember if you know that I've completely changed the costume I'm making for TwitchCon. Welcome on in. I hope you're doing well. I hope the feathers are going good. I hope the rest of the costume is going good. Atomic is another cosplayer thinking about entering TwitchCon Amsterdam. Oh no, TwitchCon Paris 2023. I'll keep getting that wrong, but I will try. Like, it's like more about sewing, but I like your little rant. Thank you. Yeah, at the moment it's all hand wrapping threads. So what do you call it? You put the thread in, you wrap the thread around, and then you have little thread petals. And then after that, we'll be painting them just a little bit to get the edges tinged a bit darker, because it is meant to be a horror cosplay. And as much as I do like the saturated red, I think a little bit darker would do the costume good. Ah, dear. Yes, you're freaking crazy. No, it's for a good cause. My motivation being that cause, I just have a lot of motivation for this one because it's like fresh. I rant all the time. Yeah, so do I, to be honest. I do try and keep it so it's like not about specific creators and stuff like that, though. I don't like to do that. That doesn't feel right, and it feels like the wrong thing to do. Even if there is something that's been happening that's bad, it's like I'd rather not so much rant about specific people. But about policies, about things that Twitch streamers do, yeah, I'll do that. Oh dear. Wah. I thank you for putting the cosplay in chat. I mean, if it gets you motivation, I went to change and then I was like, no, I spent like 150 hours of freaking feathers. That's very fair. I saw this and I was like, I have to. It's so pretty and it's so up my alley. It's horror, but it's organic horror, like with more natural elements, and it's just everything that I enjoy making in costumes. I get to make a ball gown again. I haven't made a ball gown for years, and I used to love making ball gowns. Ball gowns were like the only kinds of costume I used to do, and now it's like I can make a ball gown again. I try not to as well, but it's hard when the same individuals keep causing problems. Yeah, I mean, I'm obviously happy to call people out when they're in my chat of being like, you're being an asshole, stop, or you're getting banned. So yeah, but like, I don't like doing it so much to people who aren't here. You're gonna make a removable face? Yeah. Yeah. Also, I'm gonna be on wheels. I don't know if you knew that bit. I'm gonna be on wheels, Hut. I'm gonna be skating across the floor like whee to the track of Initial D, just skating around. Heck yeah, I'm gonna have wheels on my knees so that I can like push myself across the floor slowly as if I'm floating on water, but also so that I can do like a sick drift onto stage. Oh dear. Oh dear. What have you decided for the face? So what I'm gonna do for the face, I'm going to be making like a cast of, I think I'll do my face. I'm not sure. I'm like tempted to do like, I guess a closer face, but I think I'd like it to be my face. So I'm gonna do a cast of my face and then obviously have that painted so that it's just a face. Easy. It's gonna have little magnets in the top that can then connect to the inside of the wig. That way I can go onto stage with it on, but take it off if I wish to. Which will be good because both of my hands will be busy when I'm moving onto stage because they'll be the ones pushing me along. So I need something there. So I think having the magnets on will hold it in place nicely. And then underneath, I'm going to put prosthetics over my nose and have two little gauzes over my eyes so that I can paint all of this like a black hole. So like you'll have a rim around the edge, but then it'll be like a black hole inside. But then I'll still be able to see, like with my eyes open kind of thing. Just because for safety's sake, it is quite important that I can see if I'm scooting along the floor. Yeah, that's the plan. Gonna Mario Kart your way? Yeah, I am. Oh dear. At least with the ball gown, you can go to the toilet easier, I'm guessing. Probably yes and no. Ball gowns, you can like lift them up and have mechanisms underneath, like with wedding dresses where you can pull them up. They're very heavy. The ones that I've made have always been very heavy. So, and you don't always fit into a standard size bathroom stall. So that like the last 2 times I've worn ball gowns to conventions, I've had to use the disabled toilet because of the width. It's just too big for a standard bathroom stall. So I can't fit. So it's easier than Mateus, I'd say. but not easy still. Like, you still need quite a bit of space to maneuver. So I am not looking forward to the toilet one. I went 3 times during TwitchCon Amsterdam, and honestly, it was a miracle. It took like 10-15 minutes every single time, because I was the only one who could fit into the bathroom. So like, someone would have to stand outside the bathroom because I couldn't close the stool door. And so I should say, this isn't the fault of the convention. Like, obviously they're not planning for people with like tails and wings and stuff like that. But yeah, I couldn't close the stool to the bathroom, so nobody could come into the bathroom area while I was using it. So we had to like completely like have people in the way so that they couldn't get in, kind of thing. And then yeah, just to get ready, it took me like 10 to 15 minutes of using the bathroom every single time, and it happened 3 times. Oh dear. So I was worried about dehydrating, you know, because like obviously the costume was quite warm. So I was just worried like I should keep drinking so that I don't dehydrate, but then if I keep drinking, I also need to keep peeing. Why not take the mask off on stage? Do that? Yeah. That'd be the plan, is to go on stage, get into the area where you stand, and then take it off, put it back on, and then leave. Because I need both hands free to move. So I could only do it at that point anyway. I couldn't do it beforehand because I need my hands. So I can't hold a mask as I'm like rolling in. It needs to be attached to the wig. When say screw across the floor, imagine you bum shuffling on stage. Basically, it'll be like a very elegant bum shuffle, I would say. It's still a bum shuffle, just with added elegance. Did they make toilet space a suggestion or feedback? No, not the toilet space. The reason is that it was very easy for just one person to go in at a time. Oh, sorry, I've just absolutely smacked my mic. Let me just move that back. Yeah, it's very easy to have it that only one person, because there's only one stool in the bathroom. It wasn't too bad. The second thing is, it's not Twitch's fault. That's just how the convention center was. And we are in a different convention center next year. So the same feedback wouldn't necessarily go over, because if it'd been the same convention center, maybe I'd be like, hey, would it be possible to have more available bathrooms for the cosplayers? But since it's a completely different convention center, it's like, it won't really have too much of an effect. And there were other things that I prioritized over the top, like having more moderation in the Twitch channel, things like that. And also having the rules laxed around people wearing costumes on the floor so that we could actually go show people. Those were the things I really wanted to focus on. Ah dear, I think I'm gonna make a magnetic set of darts people to throw at me in the green room. Ah, heck yeah. Bathroom's good for disabilities, yes. For cosplays, no. You can't do it. Does not have a motor on the wheels. I'm not gonna have a motor on the wheels. I'm going to be doing this probably as manually as possible, just for safety's perspective. As much as I like the idea of me being like a tiny little car and brooming around, since I do have balance struggles, I am not always the most with it. I'm not allowed to drive for a reason, so I think turning myself into a car might be illegal. I think that might be illegal. The other thing is, if I did have a fainting episode or a fit or something like that, and I had a motor on, it would look ridiculous, but also like I would be moving away from the people trying to help me, and it's kind of dangerous. I need that if that happens, that I am completely still. Yeah. As much as it would look quite funny, listen, I'm allowed to laugh at myself. I think if me having one of my fits while being on a motor and going across the floor, it'd actually probably be horrifying. It would probably be the most horrific this dress can possibly look, is because I have like full body jerks. Normally it's my arm and my neck will go really badly, but could you imagine? Oh my god, that would be legitimately terrifying. However, it would also be very, very dangerous. So yeah. I'm not gonna do that. If I do have an episode, I need to be still, not moving, so that people can put something under my head. Otherwise, people are gonna be putting things under my head, and I'm just gonna be consistently moving away from the assistants. And again, however funny it would be, it's probably not worth it. Oh dear. New convention center, heads up. Maybe, but again, it's kind of difficult because they've already picked the convention center. It's more to do with choosing where the convention is. Yeah. Oh dear, talking about that, I suggested a hoverboard. I'm not allowed to drive, so I think turning myself into a car would be illegal. I think so. I think it would be illegal. I don't think I'm allowed to do that. Jelly and Death, no face accelerating in the distance. Yeah, I think it would be hilarious. It would just be really dangerous. The other thing is, I don't know if you've ever seen anyone have like a very violent faint or something like that, but you don't put any limitations on the force you use when you're not really conscious. So like the punches, I am not a strong person, but I am punching with like 110% of my body strength. So I also wouldn't want, I would be like a weapon. If I was rolling around, like as much as it'd be very dangerous for me, it would also be really dangerous for anybody trying to help me. If anyone's seen like the box with the knife, it'd be like that. So it'd be really dangerous for me, and it'd be really dangerous for anyone trying to help me, and all over it'd be just very dangerous. Oh dear. Assistant remote controlling you? No, I want to be in control. Excuse me. The only person wheeling me around is me. And I don't have my hands free to use a controller. So, no, I'm the only one wheeling me around. Zooming straight off stage. Well, yeah, it's always a fear. That's probably my biggest fear, is collapsing on stage. Because that would be probably genuinely pretty horrifying for the people watching, but also like, it would be really upsetting for me spending hundreds of hours on a costume and getting remembered as the woman who had a fit on stage. I don't want that. Fortunately, though, I will say that stuff's a lot better. It was really, really bad when I was on the previous migraine medication, but now that I'm off that, things are a lot better. So I don't have it happen as often. I have my moments, but it's pretty chill. It used to be like a lot. Oh, that's one thing. Do you want to have a bit of a rant? Do you want to have a bit of a rant? I have a topic that I'd like to rant about that got recommended to me the other day, and that honestly I think is probably one of the most stupid things you could do. But like, it's popular, it's like a trend on TikTok, and this does kind of, it's like one of the first trends on TikToks I've seen where I'm like, wait a minute, this is actually something I can relate to. So people who have fainting disorders, like there are various reasons someone can have a fainting disorder, so I'm just going to generalize. Fainting disorders are doing a challenge where it's called stand up, sit down, stand up, sit down. And basically they do it to the standing up, sitting down, kind of like over and over in music until they faint. Obviously, I'm going from the perspective that all of these people are doing it for real and it's not a faked thing, because there are a lot of people who do fake illnesses on TikTok specifically. But I'm going to take it from the angle that all of these people are 100% legit and they do have diagnosed fainting disorders. And it is something that they are aware of. It is so dangerous to faint regularly. It is so, so dangerous. So to take it from me, someone who has had multiple concussions, to the point where now they scan my brain at the doctors or at the hospital, and you know what they said? Mostly healthy. No longer healthy. And there's nothing I can do about that. That's just how it is. The long-term effects of having concussions over and over again are really, really dangerous. Ranging from like being more susceptible to certain diseases to like just straight up amnesia. Like, it is so, so dangerous to faint over and over again. And of course, people with fainting disorders, there is very little that you can do to stop. Well, no, that's not true. There are things you can do to stop it, but like, you will always have that disorder. But doing challenges which actively encourage you to faint, when there is always a chance you can give yourself a concussion, or worse, you can break things. You can really do yourself a fair amount of damage. Unfortunately, every concussion can lead to death. So it's exceptionally dangerous. And doing it as a challenge on TikTok, you risk your own life and then promote risking your own life to other people in a similar situation to you. It's really, really dumb. I honestly, I saw that and I was like, that is so dangerous. So, so dangerous. Like, I think people just assume that you're always going to fall on something fluffy and soft. The last time that I have fainted, like when really badly, when I had to then take a bit of a break from streaming afterwards, I was making a cup of tea in the kitchen. I hadn't just stood up or anything like that, so I thought I was in a safety. I went straight backwards onto the kitchen floor. I did hit my shoulder on the way down, which was probably a good thing. It really hurt afterwards, but it was probably a good thing because it stopped me going straight onto the back of my head. But it was still enough to give me a fair concussion and like make me pretty sick for the rest of the day. Fortunately, nothing further than that. But you don't do things to make it worse. Like anyone who has a fainting disorder should know that you do not do things to make it worse. Because first of all, fainting is really not very fun. If you've ever fainted, you know that it's really not very fun. It really kind of sucks. It just makes you feel really sick and really dizzy. And then even afterwards, you just don't feel right for like a fair while. Even if you don't hit your head or do anything like that, you don't feel right for a fair while afterwards. So like it's really not a pleasant experience. But there's always a danger if you're someone who faints. Always. And it doesn't matter how young you are. If you manage to give yourself concussions over and over and over again, you could end your own life very young. I mean, you see this from like rugby players and things like that, like sports which are very heavy contact, who they do get a lot of concussions and then they forget everything by the age of 30. Fortunately, not too, like people, there's a lot more medicines and stuff like that and people being more careful and as well as extra gear, but it still happens. It's still like a risk. And you're not going to do anything to try and make that worse because do you want like a good life? Do you want to have a happy, healthy life? Oh, it's very frustrating. And it is predominantly young people. And again, I am taking this from the angle that everyone is being 100% legit and really fainting when they do this challenge. Doesn't necessarily mean that is the case. Speaking of migraine indications, Pyramate is horrible. You're coming off it slowly, it's really nasty. Oh, I honestly, look after yourself when you come off to Pyramate. I had to come off it very early this year. I very specifically didn't tell Stream that I was doing it because my withdrawal symptoms at the time was so bad that I didn't want people looking out for them because you could tell. I was so sick coming off that one and it lasted like 2 months. It was really rough. Like my emotions were all over the place. I was really, really depressed for like manically depressed for a solid month and there was just nothing I could do about it. I was having migraines constantly. I was always in pain. And then I was also feeling exceptionally nauseous, even in times where like I wasn't having a migraine. I would still feel sick. And it was awful, really, really bad. I was warned that this would be what could happen because I'd been on it for 2 years. And so they were like, listen, it's going to be a bit rough when you come off this. And it was. Honestly, look after yourself, treat yourself really nicely. I'd say if you can let someone close to you know that you're having a bit of a rough time, if you are having bad symptoms, just so that like someone else can treat you really nicely as well and like look after you, give you a bit of pampering because yeah, it sucks. Honestly, I'm 100% there with you. I told the moderation team because I figured they should know because there was a chance, because I'd had symptoms like severe fainting and fits, that they would get worse when coming off of the medication. So I let the mod team know just so that they were aware at the time. But like other than that, I kept it very quiet because I just didn't want people knowing how bad it was because it was rough. That was a really rough month. A couple months, honestly. It was just really bad. Oh dear. Darwin Maxim, yeah, fainting is also caused by limited oxygen into the brain. Yeah, I know people died doing that though. There was like a trend where people were like not breathing. I'm not going to go into that one because that's very, very heavy, but I am aware of it, yeah. You need to wear padding everywhere. Well, it's really hard because every time I stood up, there was like a risk that I would faint immediately because I was getting head rushed like so quickly. And we had to get into a rhythm, me and Shiny, while I was going through this period where if I stood up and he'd be like, you okay? And I didn't answer, he would immediately get me to the ground because otherwise, if I couldn't answer, it probably meant that I was far and bad enough that I was going to faint. And because my fainting is very violent, again, I have really bad spasms as I faint, it would mean that I would punch him, I would kick him really badly, I would headbutt the floor over and over again. And so it could be really, really dangerous, not only for me, but also for him. Because again, it's not like I'm conscious when I'm doing this. And so I'm not limiting how strong I'm going. I am going at full force, flailing. And I'm not a big person, which is a benefit in this particular case in that I'm not particularly naturally strong. I don't have strength just in these spasms, but it can still do a fair amount of damage and it can still hurt. And like, we had to be so careful when it was really bad that like, I was not doing damage to myself, but not doing damage to him. And there's only so much you can do. There were days where I was quite badly bruised after them. And seeing people doing it as a trend, because it's like, oh, isn't it like funny to watch? I don't know what the draw is. Isn't it funny to watch people faint is the only one I can think of, because you're out of control. But like, either that or it's to try to prove that you have a fainting disorder. And regardless of the reason you're doing it, spreading that kind of like, this is a trend kind of thing, I have to highly recommend against it. Again, as someone who is directly suffering the results of having too many head injuries, it's just not safe. And you no. Oh, also, for 7 months, Jesus. Thank you so much. That's very hecking kind of you. You were given no warning? Oh, that's really bad. You should have been given the warning that if you come off too quickly, and if you're not careful, you can actually increase your risk of seizures. Maybe it's because if you haven't shown any symptoms up to that point, maybe that's why they wouldn't say it. But you have to be really careful with Topamax. Majaffers, welcome on in. I hope you're doing well. All these precautions for being mentally hardened. Heck yeah, heck yeah. Bit rough, it sounds like torture. It's really rough. It's not as bad as you by the sound of it, but I wasn't on it for as long, which might be why. But it still sucks. And I think if you're having to go through withdrawal of a drug like that, just having like a few people come check on you, maybe drop off cake every now and again, you know, it might make a positive impact, because it sucks. I don't know how you're doing mentally as well, and I don't want to bring it to that, but I hope you're okay. And it, you know, if you are having the mental problems along with it, it does get better. It just sucks. It really does suck for like a month. Yeah, I came off by 25 milligrams as well. I can still add more here, but went off mobile. You're fine, you're fine. Oh, good, just got here. Now back to work. Oh, fine. Thank you for popping by, Majeffers. Also, there's another one. Thank you for popping by, Majeffers. But yeah, good luck with work. I hope that it goes well. Oh dear. Is there a wire in this one? No, there's a spare wire there though. Ah dear, med conversation. Not a med conversation, actually. Dora, we're actually having a conversation about the trend on TikTok of people forcing themselves to faint. So people who have pre-existing fainting disorders, which there are many which can cause fainting, so I'm not going to go into any specifics, but fainting disorders who are doing a challenge where they stand up and sit down until they faint. And kind of promoting it as a fun thing to do if you have a fainting disorder along with it. It's not an educational thing from the looks of it, at least from what I can see. It is just to make you faint. I got a web and I'm so excited. Oh, they're insane. Yeah, it's so dangerous. I'm assuming they're young. Most of them look pretty young, so they probably just don't know the long-term effects of hitting your head. Or they think that it'll be okay if they get off with it once or twice. But it's so dangerous. It only takes once. It only takes one bad fall, and that's it. There's no recovering from that. There is no cure. There is no fixing it. One bad fall, and that's it. Ah, dear. Ah, dear. They're so dangerous. So dangerous. And because it is particularly like promoting almost to people who have similar disorder, it's so bad. It's so bad. Quadriplegic incoming. Yeah, also, Helix, welcome on in. I hope you're doing well. Not offense to hitting your head. Have you heard of Muhammad Ali? Yeah, Muhammad Ali, rugby players, boxers, anyone with high impact sports, American football as well to an extent. It's like, it takes one bad hit, and that's it. I don't want to say you've ruined the rest of your life, because of course you can live as a disabled person. Obviously you can live a good life, but like, is that what you want? Do you want to make yourself disabled? Is that the plan? Because I would have to say, as someone with first-hand experience, personally, I recommend against it. Like, it maybe is not as big, like great as it's cracked up to be. You know, it's pretty sucky. Ah, dude, it has like a watermelon. Ever seen one of those dropped? Yeah. I got a dice dealer test today. Ooh, heck yeah! Brain rattles. It literally rattles your skull. Yeah. It's awful. I honestly can't like say enough about when I saw that. I legitimately thought it must just be one person doing this, because it's such a bad idea. And then when you realize it's a trend and there are loads of people who have fainting disorders specifically making themselves faint, you're like, do you know what's going to happen to you? Like, are you aware that you're effectively like you're setting yourself up to die, or you're setting yourself up to like be disabled for the rest of your life. Like, is this what you want? The other thing that really worries me is TikTok is not always done in one take. How many times have these people made themselves faint to get the right shot? Because, you know, you only see it once, but there's a chance people are making themselves faint over and over and over again just to get the good shot for the TikTok. And again, that's so dangerous. Like, I can't say that that's necessarily the case. I just wouldn't be surprised if it was. And I'm not really on TikTok very much. It's not I don't have a good enough phone, really. So it's like, it's not a platform that I take advantage of too much yet. I might do in the future, but not yet. But yeah, it is worrying. And it does just make me think people don't really know the long-term effects of these kind of disorders, where it's like, if you don't look after yourself, you set yourself up for a lot of hardships later on in life. And maybe if you're young, you don't see that now, but like, I am not old. I'm 27, you know? I'm not an old lady just yet. And like, you could be like, listen, you could be like me. You could literally give yourself migraines for the rest of your life. It's like one of the sort of, again, it's not the most common one, but it is one of the things you can do with consistent head injuries. You can cause yourself have migraines for the rest of your life. And as someone who has first-hand experience of having that for the last 6 years, I can tell you it's not worth it. Whatever your TikTok is, it's not worth it. However many views you get, it's not worth it. Nothing is worth it. And I worry. Oh dear, I can swear the Mythbusters doing something where they got high-speed footage to just how bad it is. I actually think I remember something like that. I mean, I'll be honest, I've grown up in a medical family. I've kind of always known how bad it is. Like when you hit your head, you take it seriously and you do check and you see if you have any extra symptoms, then you go to a hospital if you have to. But I know that it's bad. So many people think winning a Darwin Award is a good thing. Also, Daria, welcome on in. I hope you're doing well. So I'm just going to change position briefly and drink some tea because it's necessary for me to continue this conversation. Things are going to get serious, so be prepared for it. Okay, how serious are we getting? I mean, if it's head injuries. So it's like a fly in this room and I keep catching it and then letting it go. This poor fly. 1314, we found out a way to make you faint by doing a specific thing and it caused something. Is it the one where you suffocate yourself? I know of that one. It's one I'm not going to bring up very much, but I know of that one, and I know that one has been talked about in detail because people have died, where it gave you like the feeling of being high, and so people would do it, but then children would die, and it was, I know here in the UK it was pretty bad. Like, I don't know how it was abroad, but I remember it here, and it was a very, very dark time. Like, seeing, that was one of the first TikTok trends I really remember because it hit the news and people were made very aware that TikTok is an app that has these dangerous trends on it sometimes. And it was like one of my first exposures to TikToks because it was so long ago. Yes, it's the head rush feeling. I know exactly what this is then. Yeah, I'm not going to go into detail about that. It has been covered by news outlets. It's been covered in detail by professionals. If you want to go find out about that one, you can find plenty of like proper neurologists, people who work in A&Es talking about it. That one it's really bad. I know about it. It was all over the news. You could not escape it here. I remember someone going around asking people to do something like that at school, yeah. It was kids. It was kids who did it. And it's very, very sad, everything that happened. Oh dear. Everyone wanted you to do it? That's really worrying and upsetting. Ugh. Yeah, I think I want to focus more on the fainting ones if that's okay though, Val. Because like, yeah, it's... The fainting ones, it's something that's happening right now. And like, I genuinely don't think people know the repercussions of what they're doing. Whereas like with this other one, it's been covered. People are aware. People have seen what's happened. But so far, as far as I'm aware, no one has died to the fainting trend. And I mean this in like the least depressing way possible, but like, it's a matter of time. Someone will. It's gonna happen. You'll get it with someone who has a really bad case of a fainting disorder, and they will hit their head on the way down and they will die. Like, it's a ticking time bomb, as far as I'm concerned, if the trend continues. We're just waiting. And which is awful, but like, that's how it's gonna go. It's really, really bad. In the 90s, a make yourself faint school trend. In hindsight, I can't believe I was stupid enough to try it, but teenage brain. Well, that's the thing, is like, most of the people doing this are teenagers. So they're younger, they don't necessarily know the repercussions. Again, I do want to clarify, I am taking this as if every single person doing this is legit and is not faking having a fainting disorder just to do the TikTok. In reality, the likelihood is that there are people faking it, and that some of the people fainting aren't actually fainting and have complete control of their bodies as they go down. The thing with spreading a trend like this is there will be people who legitimately have a fainting disorder who will do the same trend and who will not control themselves as they fall down, who will not fall down the way they thought they were going to, who might fall backwards instead of falling forwards. You know, there will be people who are very negatively affected by it. And again, you can die. So at this age, you might not realize the dangers a lot of time, especially when the internet wasn't a thing yet. Now you have access to it, and it's worse as the information's out there. Yeah. Oh dear, the information's out there, and yet we still have flat earthers. True. But like, well, okay, well, sorry, this is a bit of there's a documentary about flat earth, and they have these like beautiful domes of the earth, where the earth is flat in the domes, but it has like a dome over the top of it. And like, listen, I'm not a flat earther, but would I like one of those domes for like my dining room table? Maybe. They're very aesthetic and very pretty, and like, I might not believe, I kind of like that. Yeah, as a trend, my heart rate and BP is already low enough. Yeah. So for me, thankfully, it's something that's a lot better than it used to be. Now that I've come off to Paramate, things are a lot easier and I don't have as many issues with it. But like, yeah, I guess because I'm someone who did have a problem with fainting, and I did hurt myself, and there was nothing I can do about it. Seeing people starting a trend with that, it's like, friends, please, this is not the trend you want to be doing. Like, I think it does come back to the idea that on TikTok it is somewhat a positive thing to be ill. I don't like putting it like that, because it's not really fair on the people who are actively spreading like positive information and discussing conditions that are less common and stuff like that, of which there are people discussing, you know, their own experiences with certain diseases and how it's affected them. And like, that sort of stuff obviously is great, and it helps reduce stigma from diseases that might have more. It helps get information out about diseases that are less common. But for every person who's doing a really good job, there's someone who is forcing themselves to faint when they have a fainting disorder and doing it as a trend, you know? And unfortunately, those sort of things do get a lot of views. And, you know, that just becomes encouragement, I suppose, to then keep doing it. And there are accounts that their whole content is making themselves faint. And, you know, if it's fake, fine, they'll probably be okay. You know, you can fall in a safe way if you're in control. But if it's not fake, that's really dangerous. And it's a really dangerous thing to spread, that it's okay to be doing that kind of thing. At the end of the day, it is your body, and you are the only person who will suffer as a result. But if you do it to yourself in private, it's your body and you're the only person who will suffer as a result. But if you put it out as a challenge, the likelihood of other people trying to do the same challenge, it does make you semi-responsible if somebody does get hurt. Obviously, you can never be directly responsible, but you're not helping. Oh dear, faking it causes those who don't understand why it's not right to think harder and try to get it to work, which can cause these individuals to seriously hurt themselves or possibly die. Yeah. Also, I wasn't trying to get that far into the subject, just wanted to make a point about age maturity and the fact that it's been around for a while, unfortunately. Yeah, I am aware. Can you have this faint disorder without realizing you have the disorder? Sorry for wrong description. I would say, specifically a fainting disorder, it probably would be a little difficult to know, to not know if you have it, because like, if you keep fainting, you probably will end up going to a doctor and they'll let you know. The other thing is, I'm saying generalized fainting disorders, but there's actually a lot of things that can cause fainting. Certain medications, as well as like low blood pressure in general, which can be caused by a wide variety of things. So I'm saying fainting disorder, but it's more like there's probably a reason that you're fainting. It's not just that you have fainting disorder, it's that you have low blood pressure, or that you're on a medication that's causing that. Or maybe if you have an eating disorder and you're not eating or drinking enough, that's another reason why you could faint a lot. It's more a symptom of something else. Heart conditions, brain conditions, medications, there's so many reasons. So yeah, I'm saying fainting disorder, but it's not like you would necessarily be diagnosed as fainting disorder. You'd be diagnosed with low blood pressure, or you would be given a medication that would cause you to faint. Or, you know, it's more like that, I think, as far as I'm aware, from a non-doctor's point of view. I don't think there is just fainting's disorder. Although you can have fits and stuff like that, seizures, all that kind of majazz. I guess that would be the next step. Are people going to do things that trigger seizures? My God. Do you imagine? But actually, you know what? I can. I get vertigo a lot when I stand up or lie down. It could probably lead to fainting if I deliberately caused it rather than trying not to trigger it. Yeah. Like for me, there were times where, unfortunately, I would just randomly faint. And so like I wouldn't necessarily be after standing up. It would be like, but it was normally early in the morning. So it would normally be before I had eaten or drunk anything that morning. So like a fairly easy trend to follow was when I get up just to be a little bit careful. Because before I eat or drink anything, I might be a bit more prone to fainting, you know? And that was probably the only time where it was a little bit more difficult because it was so random. Otherwise, yeah, standing up and sitting down would make me lightheaded, which could mean that I would faint. Sometimes I would stand up and faint, sometimes I wouldn't. So it was just like, you could pretty easily tell, again, from Shiny's perspective, if it was going to happen though, because every single time I stood up, I would get head rush. Shiny would ask if I'm okay, and if I didn't respond, even if I was still standing, take me to the floor. Because, yeah, that way, if I do faint, then I am already on the floor. And I think doing things like that was what really kept me as safe as I was during that time, because I was having a lot of issues. But again, if you are consistently fainting, please don't just diagnose yourself, please go to a doctor, for obviously to make sure that there's nothing more dangerous going on, but also maybe to be able to help you so that it's not something you have to continue suffering with in the future. Or to give you some advice, maybe lifestyle advice or health advice that can prevent it from happening as much or make it a little easier to control. I think try not to get all of your information from Twitch streams. Ah, dear. It's good that they can help you. My ex told me about his diabetes and how to handle it, so I can help. Exactly. Yeah, you know, finding stuff like that. Getting diagnosis is really important if you are showing specific symptoms, because again, if you are fainting a lot and you haven't got a diagnosis, you might just have a brain tumor. Unfortunately, it'd be like this. There are so many things where it's like if you don't go to a doctor and get it checked out, you just don't know. It's very, very bad internet advice that everything is fine to self-diagnose. It's not. Self-diagnosis is a really useful tool for telling you things of like, am I sick enough that I need to go to a doctor? Can I just pick up a prescription? You know, do I have to do this? Do I have to do that? Am I sick enough that I need to go to A&E right now? There's a lot of useful times, and especially as well with like mental disorders like depression and stuff like that, recognizing that you're struggling is really, really important. So being able to be like, look back at yourself objectively and say things like, right, yeah, you know what? I'm not feeding myself. I'm not washing myself. I'm struggling every day. That kind of stuff, it's really important. But when it comes to physical disorders, self-diagnosis is not particularly valid, in my opinion, outside of being able to, you know, assess whether or not you need to make a doctor's appointment, pick something up at a pharmacy, or go to a hospital. Outside of that, it's not, because unless you're a doctor, and even if you are a doctor, most doctors that I know do still go to the doctors. It's difficult to say whether or not there could be something more dangerous going on. And also the fact going to a doctor's can actively get you help so that you have a better quality of life. But mainly it's just because so many symptoms overlap. Like literally go on WebMD for 2 minutes. So many symptoms overlap. And a doctor can help you find out whether it's something that we have to deal with immediately, whether it's something they have to long time deal with, or if it's something they can fix immediately. Yeah. If you want to know one thing about my channel, I'm not against self-diagnosis in certain areas, but when it comes to physical health, I'm exceptionally against it. Outside of things like colds and flus and hangovers. But again, in those kind of cases, it's like you probably would just not go to a doctor. But if it comes to you having consistent symptoms and you haven't been to a doctor, in my mind, diagnosing yourself is dangerous. Oh dear. That's one thing that, I'll be honest, I can't really stand on TikTok. I think there are times where self-diagnosis can be a very valid tool to help, you know, work out why you're struggling, what you're struggling with, and stuff like that. And there are times where people say that they are self-diagnosed chronic migraine, and you're like, are you now? A self-diagnosed chronic migraine? Interesting. Very curious. I don't know how you've managed to do that. How do you know that you have chronic migraine? Because literally 5 other disorders have exactly the same symptoms. So how do you know that you have chronic migraine if you self-diagnose? And again, it's just a dangerous information to spread because things like, again, I can only really speak for what I have, but chronic migraine lines up with brain tumors, it lines up with potential TIAs or strokes, it lines up with so many more dangerous things. And without going to see a doctor, you just don't know. Yeah. I mean, my doctors didn't know until I had head scans, and then they said they were mostly healthy. I'll never let that go. But yeah, it's dangerous. It's dangerous to spread the kind of information like self-diagnosis is a one-size-fits-all. It's not. It's not. You could literally get people killed with that. It's the same way I feel about people saying that you can cure cancer with things that aren't treatments for cancer. I think it's giving people hope when they shouldn't necessarily have it in that kind of way. And it's not, it's a false hope, like it's not real. And making people believe that you can cure them with a herbal tea of their like progressive cancer rather than the person seeking legitimate treatment kills people. Oh dear. This has been a very long rant. Also, Queena, welcome on in. I hope you're doing well. We're making flowers and ranting about TikTok. I hope you're doing well. Oh dear. Specifically, it was the TikTok fainting trend. We've gone a little bit off now, but like, it's the TikTok fainting trend is the one that really bothers me. I feel like it's a trend that's just waiting for someone to die, and like that's what's really bothering is like, this is misinformation that could lead to someone's death. Like, okay. And even if it doesn't, some of these people, if they are legitimately fainting this many times, could very easily give themselves later in life problems with memory, with head pain, because head trauma is a doozy and causes a lot of issues. Ah, dear. So yeah, I'm kind of rehashing the same points at this point, but like, yeah, I saw it and I was like, this is very bad. And like, it's really sad to see a trend and be like, we're just waiting for someone to die. Yeah, no. Ah, dear. I like to avoid TikTok like the plague. I'm doing well. Currently felting a Garbodor. Oh my god, so cute. So cute. The unlocked, this unlocked an old memory of mine that's making me comfortable at the time. Kind of forgot about it. Yeah, it gives you that vibe, right? Where you're like, I've seen something similar to this before. And that ended in people dying. And this time, I can only imagine it going, again, there'll be people that aren't immediately affected, who they won't realize the damage they've done until, you know, a few years or maybe 10 years down the line, when suddenly it will affect them for the rest of their life. There'll be people like that, but there's always a chance as well that there'll be people who do immediately see the repercussions. And again, I think it's very, very concerning. It's a concerning one. I feel like a concerned parent, but it's just like concerning. The trend doesn't show how much it disrupts your life. It doesn't. And like, I know people who have as well got chronic migraine from head trauma. In my case, it's very unlikely to be it just because of certain other things. But like, I know people who have had chronic migraine from head trauma. I've met them. I've been to migraine meetups where there have been multiple people there who the initial thing that started the migraines for them was a concussion. If I can give you one word of warning, it'd be kids don't end up like me. Like literally, don't do a trend where you could end up like this. It's not cool. It makes your life very heckin' hard. Also, Van, welcome on in. Thank you for dropping by. You joined a very intense conversation, but I hope you're doing well. We're just wrapping flowers at the moment. So wrapping around petals. Yeah, we're discussing the TikTok trend of making yourself faint when you have a fainting disorder. So like people will do the standing up, sitting down until they end up fainting and then pass it on, somebody else do it. And yeah, that's that's the discussion of the day. The discussion of the day is, Someone's gonna die. It's what's gonna happen. It sounds dramatic, but someone's gonna hit their head on the way down and either severely disable themselves or die. We're just kind of waiting for it. And even the people who don't do that, if they hit their head multiple times, could have long-term life repercussions. It's not a fun trend. It's literally ruining your own life and then trying to get other people to do the same. You did that, you're fine. When it comes to migraines, just say no. Avan, you're fine. Take care. Enjoy the rest of your day. I hope it goes well. As someone with many health conditions, seeing people deliberately injure or sick of themselves so makes me upset. Yeah, that's exactly how I felt. It's like, I know, I live with one of the potential repercussions you guys are like potentially giving yourself. I really cannot recommend enough that you don't get chronic migraine. Like, obviously, we stream on good days. We stream when we're feeling all right. You know, we don't. I'll be honest. There are people who do show their really bad times when it comes to migraine. I don't think I could do that. I don't think I'll ever be someone who can do that. Like, it's such a low point in your day that it's like, it feel the same as me like taking a video while taking a shit, you know? I don't want that out on the internet. I mean, kudos to the people who are comfortable enough to show that kind of thing. But like, I'm barely conscious half the time when I'm having a really bad migraine. I wouldn't be able to lift my phone up, let alone take a bloody video. And kudos to the people who can. That ain't me. And like, even if it would just be depressing stuff that I'd be saying. It'd just be stuff like, I've been in pain for a long time, it really hurts, I can't see. Who wants to see a video of someone suffering that badly? But people do. People do take videos. A lot of them in very light spaces with good lighting. I don't think that's probably gonna help, but okay. Oh dear. That's one way of putting it, yeah. Interesting topic we're into. Hi, George! Yeah, we're talking a little bit about people doing the fainting trend on TikTok, where people with pre-diagnosed fainting disorders, whether it be low blood pressure or medication or something like that, force themselves to faint by standing up and sitting down over and over again, and then somebody else like does it. So it's like pass it on kind of thing. So someone makes himself faint, and then the next person makes himself faint, and then that's oh my god, a doctor? Perfect. Doctor, you've come in at the right time. Hi Ray, welcome on in. We're talking about a trend on TikTok that you might have input on. Welcome. This is the time I've heard of the trend. It's a really bad one. It's very bad. I think it is just called standing up, sitting down, but someone will put on like page like, I have a fainting disorder, let's see how long it takes me to faint, and then they'll do the standing up, sitting down, standing up, sitting down, standing up, sitting down, and eventually they will faint. Some people it's very quick. Also, Zay, thank you for the horn. Welcome on in. And yeah, that's the trend. Sounds really fun, doesn't it? Doesn't it sound like a fun trend? Oh dear. We're just talking a little bit about the repercussions of like fainting that many times, but more specifically, fainting is quite dangerous because you don't have control of your body, so you really can't control the direction you're fainting very easily, especially if it's a sudden faint. Like, and the fact that you could hit something. If you're someone like me, you'll have really intense muscle spasms as you faint, which means you can hit yourself off objects. That is one thing I will say. The people that are fainting faint very cleanly a lot of the time, which is a good thing because it means they're not hitting on things. But like, that's not been my experience of fainting. My experience of fainting is taking half the room down with me. Yeah, it's yeah, fainting's really fun. Yeah, I really love fainting. Oh my god, so fun. Love it. Baggins, welcome on in. I hope you're doing well. We're wrapping flowers and ranting about the fainting trend on TikTok. I hope you're doing well. Welcome. If you have any input, we'd love to hear it. But yeah, it's the forcing yourself to faint and then kind of encouraging other people to do the same thing. And it's like, ah, yes. Repeated head trauma is also my kink. I love that. I love just hitting my head over and over and over again. That's my favorite. That's great. Really good for your long-term health as well. Oh dear. I'm glad I buck up about TikTok. Oh dear. What, you mean you don't like all this lovely spread of misinformation? I thought that sounded really good. I thought people love misinformation. Did I get that wrong? Do people not love misinformation? Oh dear. There we go. Get that around there. Oh dear. I'm feeling alright, by the way. Sorry, I didn't respond to that bit. I'm doing alright, thank you. Yeah. We're actually doing 2 streams today as long as everything pans out okay. So we're doing our regular sewing stream now, and then later we're going to be doing a bit of a spooky stream with Shifty Blook. Feigning me danger for other people. I had a fellow classmate next to me on a rolling escalator. She cleared the whole escalator by falling down against other people. Oh, it can be really, really dangerous. Like, really dangerous. And it's definitely, I don't want to say that it's necessarily glorifying it. It's down that road though. It is down the avenue of like, how fun can it be to faint sort of thing. Let's show you as part of a trend. And like, obviously fainting isn't like a drug. It's not like people start, but it definitely encourages other people to give it a go. And it's like really not a fun thing. Love information, that's the point. And we health workers have to deal with it, yeah. We were saying earlier, like it's only a matter of time before somebody faints and hits their head and gives themselves permanent repercussions. And there's always a chance that people have already hit their head enough that like, because some of these people, their whole channel on TikTok is just fainting over and over again. And like, again, I can't verify whether or not they are legitimately fainting or whether it could be fake to an extent. But if it's not faked, they are fainting hundreds of times for the camera. And they're going down solidly, and yeah. Oh dear. Yeah, when you say fainting be dangerous to other people, I kind of misunderstood, but I get that now. Yeah, because we were talking earlier, when I faint, I have really strong muscle spasms as I faint. And Shiny, you know, will normally notice if I'm nearby and will go and make sure I get to the ground okay. I will be doing like this. My head will be going back and stuff like that. Like, we initially thought that I was having seizures because of how dramatic some of the spasms were. They don't always happen, but yeah. I can really punch you, and it's like, it's dangerous. Even if there's no one else around, that's dangerous. Oh dear. Very well, myself, been working on myself for to celebrate 1 year, 1 month. Ooh, alcohol. Oh my god. I'm doing so much, Mr. Barkins. Heck yeah. Also, here's some petals. We've made quite a few so far. I'm actually really proud of us. Look at all these hecking petals. These are all the smallest ones. We've made quite a lot and they look really neat. Got another one I want to make here though. Ah dear. Luckily nobody's injured, so we can joke about it afterwards, but it would easily been different. Almost if you're having a seizure, that sounds wild. Yeah, so we thought the first time it happened, we called the doctor immediately because we were like, I think I just had a seizure. And I'm like, I don't know why, and I don't know what's happened. And they asked me a lot of questions about it. We talked through it, but I could remember some of it, which you shouldn't really be able to remember big parts of it if you're having a proper seizure. And also, I was up again pretty quickly. There was also no wetting myself, no shitting myself, none of that. It was just the muscle spasm. And so it looked like a seizure, but it's not. It's still fainting, but it's just very violent. And again, it's not always so bad. Like, there have definitely been times where it's been chiller than others, but it's always better to prepare in case it's going to be like I'm hitting my head on the floor. So pretty, thank you. Jelly, tea, sorry. I should drink my tea, you're right. Also, spasms drain all your energy. I always feel rough though, even if I haven't. Like, after fainting, I always just feel kind of bleh. If you clarify what happened when I was younger. Don't really want to set up Twitch, it's a bit of a... Yes, you can... I would say not, just in case it's quite triggering, keep that off Twitch. But yeah, absolutely you can DM me, that's all good. Oh dear. Mod love, big mod love. Ah dear. Oh, we don't have that, but I think if I do this... Yeah, there we are. Then it spans the mod love. Yeah, only DMs, yeah, it's all good. Ah dear. Wow. Yeah, it's one of those things. Luckily, again, I should clarify, I don't faint nearly as much as I used to. I only really fainted because of the medication that I was on. So like these days, it happens every now and again. It's a lot less common, thankfully. Sometimes if I've had a lot of migraines and I haven't eaten as much or haven't been hydrating as much as I should, that's really the only risk for me is like not being able to eat too much. But yeah, generally it's alright. And a lot more easy to control. We keep an eye out for it still, because when it does happen, it's intense. And I think a lot of people's immediate reaction is to run over and like, and then I'm there like, bam, bam, bam. Your vein being like temporary limited blood flow to the brain, so I can totally imagine you feeling blur afterwards. Yeah, like even if I haven't like hit my head or hurt myself too badly, you feel really like, bleh, for like a while afterwards. Because it always used to happen to me like first thing in the morning as well, like before I'd eaten or drunk anything. It always just sets you up for like feeling for the rest of the day. So you just be like, great. Well, now that this happens, I'm prepared to feel awful for the next 12 hours. Thank you. Although maybe more of that's emotional and not so much physical. It just sucks to happen first thing in the morning. Looks fun what you're doing. It is. So basically, you get a wire. You put some sticky back not sticky back, I keep saying that. Double-sided sticky tape on paper and then cut out little petals. You stick the petals to the wire and then you just go over and wrap them all in thread. And then you have like the effect of having like embroidered petals. And you can go over in different colors and stuff like that. For now, we're keeping them pretty monotone because I'm going to go back and paint them rather than using different threads. But yeah, it's a really fun way of making little petals for flowers, and I'm really enjoying it. It's all Feathered Phoenix fault because they're the one that shared the tutorial on how to do this, and now I am addicted to it. Excuse me. Oh dear. Hold that up quickly. There we go. But it's really, really simple. I feel like anyone could do this. It doesn't take too much skill. It's just patience more than anything. It takes a long time because you're obviously wrapping thread, and thread is very thin. But if you have patience, I think this is a skill anyone could do. I only took it up for the first time last week, and I already feel pretty confident in it. Oh, and you need a lot of thread. I should mention that. Like, you need a lot of thread. It's heavy on the thread. Get thousands of meters of thread. Yes. There we go. Also, wrapping around the same color paper, I would say, is a tip. They didn't see that in the video, but like, I would recommend if you're making a white flower, wrap around white paper. If you're making a red flower, wrap around red paper because the thread sometimes shifts a little bit when you fold it. The thread sometimes, what is this? Oh, it's high, okay. I was like, wait a minute, this music's very intense very suddenly. Yeah, the thread shifts a little bit, so having it so it's like red underneath, even if it shifts a bit, it's safety. Anyone can do this. Anyone can do this. You need patience, but like other than that, it's not a complicated skill. It doesn't require lots of in-depth knowledge about techniques. It's just time consuming more than anything else. It's easy. Anyone can do this. I believe Zay. I think you could do this. You might not want to. And that's very fair. But I think physically, could you do it? Yeah. But maybe you don't want hundreds of chrysanthemums in your house. Anyone can do this. Conditions apply. Condition is patience and having lots of thread. But that could be anyone. Listen, comparatively to some things we do here, I feel like this is fairly beginner friendly. It just requires patience and thread. Oh dear. Looks therapeutic. It is. What I will say is I'm gonna have one really strong arm and one really weak arm, because this is like, I can't do this with my left hand. I can't like swap it over. So my right hand's having to do all the work, and just like constantly rotating it, like you feel it in your bicep just doing this constantly. It's like, I don't know. It feels like a very, very mild workout, but when you do it for hours, it starts to feel less mild. Every single time I do it, my arm a few hours in starts to be like, ooh, yeah, you know what? This is pretty intense, huh? Oh dear. I guess it's not like you have to do it for hours and hours a day, though. I just like doing it for hours and hours a day. Doesn't this seem like a basic daily statement? Patience and thousands of miles of thread. Honestly, yeah, you can do basically anything I make on stream as long as you have patience and thousands of miles of thread. Also, maybe beads. I really enjoy putting beads on my costumes, so I would say probably beads would have to be like a requirement for some of the costumes. What can I do? What can I do? The only one for me is you. What can I do? What can I do? What can I do? Tell me why you have to hurt me, hurt me. Oh. You don't love me. Tell me just how to say goodbye now. Bye now. Never will forget you. Can I do? Oh my god, honestly, it's so good. It's so good. When your love won't ever... Ooh, bugger. Won't ever let go. Even if you take me, I will still waste you. Oh. Oh dear. Is this for a cosplay costume? It is. So it's going to be for, or where is she? Oh, she is there. I put her in a really awkward place for me to gesture to, but there she is. Exclamation mark cosplay will take you to the, she's in the trailer for Silent Hill F. If you haven't seen the trailer, I would highly recommend it. And if you exclamation mark cosplay, it will take you to the trailer where you can watch it's only like 2 minutes long, if that. So like, you can watch where she's from, because there's only been one trailer for this game so far, and she's in it. There she is. Oh. So yeah, if you haven't seen the trailer for Silent Hill F, she's in the trailer for Silent Hill F. Okay, thought that. Yeah, I don't even know what her name is. She's just the flower lady in the trailer. Ba-ba. Go. Just checking the back to make sure that it's filled in properly at the back as well. It's very easy to be like, it looks great at the front, but then if it looks icky at the back, yeah, not so keen. There we are. Do, 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 do. Wah, wah. Ba, ba. There we go. And around there. I fold that one up, and then I might go from the other side. Well, actually, no, I'll do the fifth one. My god, we are zooming through. I think this is all the threes now. This should be enough for the center of 3 different flowers as well, in case you were curious. This will be enough for 3, because we need 6 petals for the insides of the flowers. And I think I have done 6 to 18. 18. It's enough for 3. Pretty good start. I really need to count how many I need. I also saw a really good, excuse me, a different technique, but for doing the slightly smaller chrysanthemums, it might be good just to like differentiate them a little bit. So I have that as well lined up at some point in the future. It's like, it's one of the techniques I'm a bit more familiar with, where you burn the fabric. As long as it's a polyester, you can burn it and singe the edges, and it makes them curl up. So it tends to be a little bit quicker, just requires a little bit of prep, like you have to cut out a lot of pieces of fabric. But when you're actually making them, it's quicker. Go. And the whole way along. Oh, that's going to look insane. Yeah, we're going to be putting wheels on the knees so that I can like, because the arms go directly into the dress. And so I'm going to have wheels on my knees because my arms will already be at my side so that I can paddle across the floor. That's going to be a big feature of the costume, is that I will be paddling in it. Looks like a lot of work. It is going to be a lot of work. But I want to enter this into TwitchCon Paris, so like it will be a lot of work for an international cosplay competition. So it has to be relatively in-depth. Because like with TwitchCon, it's one of those ones where you compete just to get in. And there's a lot of talented people looking at entering this next year. So you have to kind of bring the wow factor just to get into the competition. So that's my motivation, is like, it's going to be a lot of work, but it means that I could hopefully go to Paris, which would be really fun. Because the way TwitchCon works is if you get into the cosplay competition, so there's like 20 slots available, I think. It's either 16 or 20. There's quite a few slots available, but you compete for those slots. So each category has 5 open slots. So for instance, if I was entering into the SFX category, I'd be competing for one of those 5 slots. If you get in though, they pay for you to go. They send you either $1,500 if you're in most categories, $2,500 if you're in the larger than life category, to help you, like, refund you for the trip once you're there. The only thing you have to do is turn up. If you don't turn up, you won't get paid. And it's one of the only conventions that do that, where they basically pay for the people who get in to get there, which means it's basically a free holiday. Even if you don't win anything, it's like a free holiday, which is pretty heckin' cool. Oh dear, you get a hoverboard. Yeah, I don't really want to use a hoverboard because, again, as someone who is known for fainting, and this is a very stressful situation, I don't want to risk being out of control. So that's why I'm not thinking to put any electronics into it. I want to be in control of my costume 100% of the time. Also, as we kindly put earlier, I'm not allowed to drive a car, so probably shouldn't be allowed to turn myself into a car. Oh dear. It might be illegal, you know? There we go. 5 per cat. 5 per cat. Oh dear. I just don't know. Like, it's a lot. And depending on how, so 2 seconds. I will do a quick drawing for you all. Or maybe I'll do that tomorrow actually. My plan is to have quite a big skirt. I was initially thinking to have her on stilts, but I actually don't think I will. It'd be really difficult to go from wheels to stilts, and also it doesn't really add anything to the costume. Rather, I think I'd rather go wider than taller. I think width on this costume is going to look really, really cool because again, she spans such a large space at the end. I think rather than focusing on height, it would be more accurate to focus on width, which means it's going to be a very, very wide costume. But I like that idea, so that's probably what I'm going to do. I still want the wheels though. The wheels are non-negotiable. I'm having wheels on my knees so I can scoot onto stage. Oh, so welcome on in. I hope you're doing well. Welcome. We're just making flower petals. Yeah, Jelly and I get selected. I have to put up with a lot of oops, I ran over you again. Oh god. I really hope, honestly, I really hope that everyone I've spoken to about it gets in, but I almost know that that's not probably possible. But I hope everyone does, because I'd love to see everyone's costumes in person. I mean, I hope that I get in myself. Seeing what some other people are making, I'm like, the only thing I have on my side in this case is I don't know too many people that are considering entering SFX. And since I'm going to be on wheels and like I'm doing lots of castings and stuff like that, I probably will end up being in the SFX category with this particular costume. Even though there's a lot of sewing, it's just, yeah, it really does focus on SFX techniques. Plus I'll be painting like my whole body, so. Oh dear. There we go. Wider, make it harder to be in the room. That's the plan. I really want to suffer. Is it really cosplay if you're not suffering? It is. If anything, make your cosplays so you don't have to suffer in them. I just want to be wide. I really want to be wide. I want to be the whole room. I want to come in and I am the room, you know? I want to be wide. That's when you'll find yourself and realize that you're beautiful. That's what I say hi. Oh, you're fine. Take care. Thank you for popping by. Have a lovely Halloween. SFX is usually of lights, isn't it? So SFX can mean a few things. Lights is a good example. Lights and electronics in general, of which we will have two. We're going to have smoke machines and the fiber optics. So going through all of the strands. So we will have two of those, but it can also mean more body painting, silicone, like that kind of stuff. Like, and I will have that too. My whole body is going to be painted. All the body that you see on show will be painted. It can also be stuff like casting and silicone, like what, for instance, Hartigan did with the large Titan outfit, which I will also be doing because I will be casting both my arms and my feet and then placing multiple replicas of them all over the dress. So, yeah. That's why I'm like, it fits really well into SFX because it does all the three major components of SFX and I'm on wheels. Yeah. And that is really the only thing I have on my benefit right now is less people enter SFX. Send a DM. Oh, okay, thank you. I shall read it after stream then. Ah, dear. We have made all of our little threes. I need to get some more wires cut out so we can go on to the next size. But I should show you at least first what we've been making. They look really neat. They look a lot neater than the first round did. Look at all them. They look so cute. So the way it'll go, they'll go in like sets of 2 and then wrap them around together and then bend them out, like, so you'll have like a little set of 6 and then bend them all out afterwards. But yeah, they're really cute. I like them a lot. They're very cool. I got so many little leaves. They almost look like maple leaves because of all the little spikes on them and the 3 points. You could almost see them as like maple leaves. It's very cool. Story time with Vile. Heck yeah. All right, I'm gonna measure out the next one, which is a 4, which is just a little bit longer than the 3. And it means the wire will have to be just a little bit longer. I have got wire coming in the post, like proper wire, that I'm not having to pull out of tubes. So that will be good. We'll have that soon. There you go. Pause. And to about that length, I think. I might as well use it while I have it though. It's like the feather first, 60 bursts, shocking. Now I can do it in my sleep, yeah. Like, you do the same thing over and over again and you just get really good at it. I don't know what it is, but you do the same thing for a certain length of time and damn, it becomes a skill. Oh dear. Nah, this is, I'm much happier with this round. I think it's because of the paper underneath, but also just generally they look neater. Okay. Pull it out from this side. Ow. Okay. Oh, I've just been to the dentist and I'm gonna see them in 6 months and they're gonna be like, what have you done? Why are your teeth like that? Don't mind me, dentist, just, you know, pulling wires out of tubes with my teeth. Oh, they're gonna be so mad at me. Okay. Don't tell them. No one tell my dentist. Bad for your teeth, Jelly. Don't chip your teeth. I'll do my best. Oh dear. Oh dear. I mean, my teeth are okay. They're like, obviously they're not white, but other than that, they're like, what do you call it? They're not white, but they're pretty good. Oh dear. There we go. Oh, did I not trim that? Oh no, I did, okay. They offered if I wanted to have them whitened, but like, honestly, not really. Because I remember whitening your teeth like weakens them. And I'd rather have yellow teeth, honestly. I think, than have weak teeth, personally. I can definitely understand the draw of it. Because there are many times where I would have liked to have my teeth be a bit whiter, especially for costumes. But also, not worth it, not worth it. That's it, I'm ordering pliers for you. Oh dear, Ivy is natural. I think mine are, you can't really see it on camera, but you can. It's like a, you're done. They're like quite yellow. Yeah. Yeah, so white teeth are very unnatural. Fair. I guess it's just because you're used to seeing like people with white teeth. And so you just assume like that would be good. Mine are quite yellow. The front ones aren't too bad, it's these ones. Ah, dear. But, yeah, I personally would prefer to keep my teeth yellow rather than strip them. Also, Rafiki, welcome on in. I hope you're doing well. Welcome, welcome. I'm convinced we Americans whiten our teeth because of our coffee. But I also love tea and coffee. But then I swear I've had pretty yellow teeth since I can remember. Like, I don't think my teeth have ever been particularly white, like at all. Even like lighter cream. Even in like older photos of me, I know that there's a spot on one of my teeth that I think was because I took antibiotics before my baby teeth had fallen out. Or before my new tooth had grown in, kind of thing. My baby tooth had fallen out, my new tooth hadn't grown in. I think I was on antibiotics at the time. And I remember somebody mentioning that the reason some of my teeth had stained is due to that. But I don't know why. I was also very young. So I don't think even if it had been explained to me, I would have probably understood. I enjoy Brixamine for my anxiety. It can cause me to grind my teeth. Yeah, I often grind my teeth when I feel sick. Like if I feel physically sick. And that meant that, like, as a kid, it meant I barely grinded my teeth. I didn't feel sick that often. But now that I have migraines, I have to be really careful because I grind them a lot. And it's like, oh God, I need to stop doing that. But it's like one of the only things that makes me feel a bit better. Because they bleach them, yeah. I was offered it, which is the first time I've ever been offered it. Most people just look at me and they're like, it's fine, it's yellow. At least they're healthy. We might be used to seeing Americans with white teeth. In Europe, teeth whitening is less common. Yeah, like that is the first time it's ever been offered to me. And again, I personally would rather keep my teeth like pretty healthy rather than whitening them. Again, just because like, I don't know, it just feels, my priority is, I don't really care so much, but it would be nice. I'm not gonna lie, when I take photos in costumes and stuff like that, and I see my teeth in it, I'm like, damn, I wish they were a bit whiter. And I've whitened them in certain costumes where it's like really obvious in Photoshop because I'm like, damn, that's, if I've done a gold costume and my teeth are the same color as the costume, nah. But day to day it doesn't bother me too much. Good, what are you making? I can show you because we've made loads of them. Look at all my petals, Rafiki. Look at them. We're making lots and lots of petals and I love them. They're so cool. Yeah. I'm making them using paper and thread. Dentists have been asking me if I want to whiten them for years. I've been like, I'm good. Yeah, they wouldn't understand. You're a hands guy, not a teeth guy. How do you explain to them, like, I'm so sorry, but it's not my teeth. The teeth aren't the star of the show, it's my hands. Oh, dear. If I walk this hard, did I even do 3 to... Oh, that's a good heckin' walk. Very nice. But you see a lot doing that. Like the difference between dental bleaching and debrining can do. Oh, okay, okay. So far, my teeth haven't even needed to be polished. They're very yellow, but they're not dirty. There's nothing, like my teeth are pretty heckin' good. It's just that they're very yellow. Oh dear. Oh, and they always have been. I'm pretty sure my teeth have always been yellow. And photos tend to make it look worse than it's true. Especially if you have something yellow or gold on the costume. Oh no, that's cool, thank you. Yeah, yellow tones of costumes can be such a paper neutral. Yeah, yellow, I love gold as a thing, so I love putting gold into costumes. And every time I do, it's just my teeth are like, ping, a matching color. Teethy hands. Teethy hands sounds delicious. Like, yeah, eating with your hands. It's like people say they eat with your eyes. Because like you eat with your eyes before you eat with your mouth. But what if we ate with our hands? What then, huh? I grind my teeth too. It's the reason my front teeth are N-shaped. I ground them crooked. So it's the best my dentist could do to fix them. Yeah, it's something that I'm trying to pay more attention to now. So far, my dentist hasn't picked up on the fact that I grind my teeth, which is really good. But it is also something that's happened more over the last couple years. Because I used to have like nearly no nausea with my migraines, and that's something that's kind of come as more of like more common with time, which is fine. It's what it is. But yeah, so like now I grind them fairly often, and so far it's been okay. But I would like to not have any long-term problems from that. So I'm trying to keep an eye on it. And like, you know, one of those things like when I notice it stop, it's just noticing it that's hard. Oh dear. All right, here we go. Another one. And let's go all the way down, make sure that's nice and attached. So this one's slightly larger now. We've gone up one size, which means it'll take slightly longer because each of the petals is a centimeter longer. It's not harder, it gets slower as you get to the bigger petals, but also I will say the bigger petals are just so nice to look at. The small petals are fine, but I really think the effect looks amazing on big petals. Like when I was doing the 7 centimeter ones on white, I was nice. They take a while, but they're nice. Plus, I would already say that we've been really, really productive today because, you know, like, we did all of the size 3s in one day, and that's a lot. It's a lot of petals. Ah, oh, dear. There we go. Yeah. I have considered getting the... Sorry, I'm going to go back to teeth again. What are they called? Like the dentures you put over your teeth. So like you get them molded for your mouth and then you put them in and they like give you fresh fake teeth. That. Excuse me, sorry. My God, that was loud. Oh, Jenny, I'm ordering you some pliers. No. It's strong. They're strong. Ah, dear. I think I've only ever knocked a tooth out once. And that was one of my baby teeth. And that was when I fell off the horse. I fell off a horse and I got dragged behind it for a minute. And I know it didn't happen at the time. It happened like immediately afterwards. And like one of my teeth just came loose and came out. And then another one like a couple weeks later came out. So it was like, okay, maybe they were going to come out anyway because they were baby teeth, right? But like maybe the impact of me hitting the floor from horse is what like encouraged them to come out. And that's the only time I can think that I've ever done anything to my teeth. And they were babies. Oh dear. Oh, veneers. Yeah, veneers. That's it. Thank you, everyone. Also, Cherny, welcome on in. That's it. Veneers. That's what I'm thinking of. Yeah, the ones that you put over it. I couldn't use those because my front teeth had this, a significant gap. Yeah, my teeth, they're pretty good. Like, these ones stand out a little bit, but that's only because my canines grew in a bit extra after braces, I think. But otherwise, it's pretty good. Not terrible. But yeah, that way I wouldn't have to worry about like the color of my teeth for cosplay, because this is the thing, it really doesn't bother me. Day-to-day life, I could not care less. But specifically for like being on stage and stuff like that, it would be nice if it wasn't taking away from the costume because my teeth match my costume. That being said, it would be fun, right, if I got my background the same yellow as my teeth, and then I could, green screen my mouth. It's not all bad, listen. Then I would just have, like, the universe inside of my mouth. That'd be fantastic. Oh, dear. And a muzzle. Mate. We know we can't trust Jelly to use pliers. Well, I do own pliers. I have, like, jewellery pliers somewhere. I just don't know where they are. They're not in my toolbox, which kind of makes sense, I suppose, because they're a bit smaller than most of the tools in there. But I do own them, I just don't know where they are. Just gonna fold this over as well. Bit big to be just flying around like that. Look at that. There you go. There you go. That's why you're getting another pair. You don't know where I live. You can't send me pliers. I live in a faraway place now. You'll never find me. Have you looked in the picnic basket? I have. Not for the pliers, but for other things. There's been weird things. I think they must have just been like the last of things, because like I would not expect most of the stuff that I found in there to be in the picnic basket. I don't know why that stuff's in there. Return address. I listen, I have somewhere I can put the return address, but it's not my real address now. It's not a PO box, but I can do it. So I'm gonna do that. Just so that you can't send me pliers. Love the UK, which is far, far away from the EU. Super, super far. It's even further away from Vile, because Vile's over in America. So really, it's very far away. I'm also... No! That's my thread on the floor. Give a little bit of that. There you go. Ah! Delicious. Delicious, delicious. Ice cold tea. Oh, cold. Oh dear. Elias, where are you? To the end of your No! No! Oh god. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. There we go. And down there. Wow. Oh, happy Halloween! Hi, Ro, welcome on in. We're wrapping more petals right now, so we're just chilling, wrapping petals. The camera's in a little bit of a different place than usual because this is honestly just a lot more comfortable to wrap it like this. Like, I can do it at the desk, but this is just like uber comfort. And we got a lot to do, so I might as well be comfortable, right? Excuse me, I'm sorry for the hiccups. There's honestly no excuse for it today. I haven't drunk anything that should be giving me more hiccups. Excuse me, I can just see headlines on the dozens of people receive pliers in the mail from an unknown sender. It does seem vaguely threatening. Like if you didn't know and suddenly all these pliers started appearing, it's like, it does almost feel like it's like leaving the horse head in the bed or whatever. Except it's pliers in the post. I don't know. It almost indicates like they want you to do something with these pliers. Something terrifying and scary, sinister, dark. Okay, the music has got very light-hearted for this now. God damn it, music! Sinister and dark! Sinister and dark! Oh dear. In my community, if you're missing a tool, someone will send a tool whether you like it or not. But I'm not. The thing is, I own them. I just have to find them. Once we get to the sewing room, I'll be unpacking basically everything. Because, you know, most stuff is still in boxes in this house just to protect it. Once we get to the sewing room, I'll unpack everything and I will find it. It will, because I own it. I know that I own them. I just don't know where I've put them. And they're probably in one of my boxes that I've just not unpacked yet. Because it's a lot of boxes. Like half the stuff we own in this house is going in the sewing room. Like it's kind of crazy when you look through and you're like, shoot, that's a lot of stuff for one room. It'll be fine because the sewing room is like relatively large. It is the entirety of the loft after all. But yeah. Hi Jelly, that doesn't stop me from receiving more. Oh dear. Also, Vile, did you not need to go to sleep or was that somebody else? I thought you were like fetching for Zeds. Like, didn't you need to sleep? Oh dear. Not that I'm saying that to dissuade you from sending pliers, although don't send pliers. More just like I'm concerned. You went to like bed at like 6 p.m. Oh, of course. Because of the stream yesterday. Oh dear. Excuse me. I know this is like 12 hours ago, but I've completely forgotten. Oh dear. I'm glad I was able to get up and like watch the end of the stream. It was really funny because I came into stream and you were talking about me. I was like, excuse me, I've not been here for hours. Oi, 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 oi. Like, wait a minute. Who's talking about me? I can hear you. I'm right here. Oh, dear. That's why I don't share my address online. Yeah, otherwise you're going to receive dozens of pliers. And honestly, terrifying. So I misheard. You said, no, 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 no. No, 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 no. Thank you, but no, no, no. Jelly, I do not need a truckload of pliers. It's not true. Actually, do you know where I live, Shifty? I don't know that you do yet, right? Or do you? I think you know the area in which we live, but do you have like my my house address? I don't think so. Shiny would probably give it to you. Oh, I'll get on it. Yeah, Shiny would probably just give it to you. Oh dear. Yeah, most people don't have our proper address yet, just because we've sent it out to a few family members, but for the most part, I'll be more happy to invite people around once it's not a building site anymore. So I don't want to get people's hopes up that we're going to invite them around for tea or something, and then we can't invite them around for tea because we're living in a building site. Yeah, I do, Maredo. Could be worse. Could be the streamer that has received a door. A door. What is the context of, yeah, we sent you a door? Oh, wait a minute. I just remember like $30 worth of chocolate. Gonna have a little snack. Oh, delicious. Delicious. Enjoy your heckin' snack. You know, I kind of want a snack as well. I might eat a Freddo bar and crash the UK economy. 2 seconds. Change title. Let's crash the economy in the UK. I'm gonna eat a Frodo bar. I might even eat a caramel Frodo bar. I don't, but when I do, expect pliers. I own pliers though. Oh dear. And it's fine. The other thing is, I literally, at the beginning of stream, I ordered like standard wire that I don't have to pull out with my teeth. So in the post, in the next few days, I will be getting standard wire that I don't have to pull out with my teeth anyway. So then I won't even need pliers because I just have standard wire. Oh, so Lysander, welcome on in. I hope you're doing well. Thank you for the follow. Oh, ain't it like, well, I have it in like a, like one of, oh, there you are. Freddo and Friends 12 pack. That's my curly whirlies. Ah, dear. It's probably a teeny tiny chocolate bar. It is a teeny tiny chocolate bar. Yeah, but Frodo at least was always small. So it's not changed size. It was just always tiny. Oh dear. That's why you can never have too many pliers. Don't worry. I've just ordered 99 pliers. Oh god. I remember receiving parts for a car. That feels handy though. If they're trying to like repair their own vehicle. I could see that being useful. Dear, not Lizzie making you all broken less than 45 days. How embarrassing. We don't talk about it. The lettuce runs our country now. My family have all been away for most of the month of October. They've been over in America helping with other things and doing stuff like that. And they came back this weekend and I went over their house to like, you know, relax with them and like chill and stuff like that. And I was like, what have you missed? Oh, you missed the time when a lettuce outlasted our prime minister. Also, that's changed. And they were like, we've only been away for a few weeks. What's happened? And I was like, well, the old prime minister is gone and we now have a lettuce. Like literally, they were only out of the country for like October and they've come back and everything's changed. Oh dear. Very funny though, listen. At the very least we can laugh at it. It's terrible and we're living in a terrible time, but it's very funny. You just have to laugh. If you don't laugh, you cry. Okay, enough on is my bad. Now you're fine. Hi friends, welcome on in. Listen, as long as you support the lettuce, you're welcome here. The lettuce is our true overruler at this point. Until it rots, I will support lettuce with my life. Oh dear. So with another car from what I recall, the possible to build a car. Handy, welcome on in. I like the idea of just being like, build your own car, please. Next stream, please build your vehicle. Oh dear, welcome on in, Handy. I hope you're doing well. We're making petals at the moment. Look at the petals we've made so far. We've made loads and loads of petals. They come in little groups of 3 and they're all wrapped with thread. And we're going to be making chrysanthemums. Chrysanthemums. Heck yeah. I can't believe I got an email from Very exciting. Very, very exciting. Oh dear. I was usually rotten too, so rotten lettuce won't make too much difference. Yeah, but I don't know if I would want to like... I don't want to see a rotten lettuce. Visually, that only gets worse with time. Like, the idea of like, you know, and now we switch to the UK and it's like a lettuce with like maggots crawling out of it. I don't know if I like that. I don't like most of our representatives, but like that's quite visually disturbing. I think it's too visually disturbing. I don't want to see it. Hello! Ooh, quick yums! Yeah. So we started a new costume, Handy. It's the one on stream. Or you can exclamation mark cosplay if you like, because it will take you to the trailer. It's from the Silent Hill F trailer. So far, the only trailer for Silent Hill F. And that's what I'm making, which means I need to make hundreds of flowers, which is what we're now going to be doing for the next few months. Just making hundreds and hundreds of flowers in various different ways. I don't think lettuce would be so rotten it would start to walk. Ugh. I just think the Nerf guns in my local supermarket. Heck yeah! You're gonna become a Nerf gun modder? Listen, I know some people. I know a guy. Damn it. So sneaky. I could never catch them. Oh dear. Silent Hill F to pay respect, exactly. Except that it's not that. It's Silent Hill Loud, because the font they've used is used in music notation, and it's like the F, which means loud. Loud, enthusiastic. That's my favorite vibe for Silent Hill. I like Silent Hill loud and enthusiastic. Not quite what goes up, but I'm sure it'll be epic. It will be. It will be. I'm very excited. It's mainly going to be beautiful, to be honest. It's going to be lots and lots of flowers. So while there will be some slightly more gory elements, they will be pretty masked by a lot of the flowers. There's going to be lights and smokes. Heck yeah. Kay, welcome on in. Back for morning walk, and you have so... Wait, you made so many... Oh, listen, I've got a lot to make, caveman. But thank you, I'm really pleased. You've made loads. I might know someone, maybe. Nerf guns totally does not have large plastic containers in them. And I need more. Oh my god, that's a vibe. That's a vibe of a certain somebody that I know. Who has that exact same vibe. I don't know who that could be though. I don't know who I'm talking about, but I'm talking about someone. I need them on Deval. I need to use them on film cameras, which is very, very fair. Follow your hecking dreams. Not everyone dreams of being a Nerf gun modder. I would like some of the skills that Vile have, although I probably would use them in slightly different ways. But I would still like some of Vile's skills, you know, just generally. There we go. I thought I saw something out the corner of my eye. Sorry, dead silent for a second. So I'm like, what was that? Excuse me. And in my sewing room. Ah, dear. No, but I feel we can get on quite well. Very fair, very fair, very fair. Hell yeah, hell yeah. Oh dear, I stood on my own headphone cord, excuse me. I got too excited. Did I get it? No. There is a fly, and it is taunting me. It taunts me. It taunts me while I stream. Honestly, it only taunts me while I stream. Because when I'm not streaming, I don't see them. And then suddenly I start streaming and it's like, oh, yeah, they're there. Oh dear, 16 pins, what guns filled with blasters. Yeah, Val is a Nerf gun modder, but they also mod other things as well. It's not just Nerf guns, but predominantly Nerf guns, and they do some really, really lovely modifications, honestly. So I'm just making sure the music keeps going. There we go, get back in here, music. We're not done with you yet. I was gonna say you would have the skills, but Val uses them for evil. I would say Val uses them for evil sometimes, but predominantly for good. Listen, you can't just have skills and not occasionally use them for evil, every now and again. Whether it be for pranks or for giveaways. Well, giveaways is not evil, actually. Giveaways is probably good. Maybe you give them away. That's something that I do. I don't give away skills necessarily, but I give away the things that I'm using if I'm not using them, just to like feed other people's stuff. So I'm like, oh, I'm not using these beads anymore. You can have them. Here's like 10,000 beads. Take these. Good luck. Oh, you need an easel? Here, you can have the easel from my Board of Ross thing. I will say a lot of it just comes down to I don't like having the clutter around. If I don't think I'm ever going to use it, I'd rather give it to someone who will. But also, I like the idea that I am, what do you call it? Encouraging people to do more crafts, but like in a passive way. Sick pranks, bro. Heck yeah. I wonder if I could use my skills for evil. There are so many ways you could use photography for evil, but I don't recommend doing it. Oh, but wait. Okay, wait. Jason, are you familiar with the idea of liminal spaces? Like on Reddit and stuff like that. There's big forums for it. It's like one of the few Reddits that I don't follow, but I regularly check up on. It's like liminal spaces. Because you have slightly more old-fashioned camera, you could probably get some really cool shots for those kind of like liminal spaces, because you would have like the slightly more grainy, so it makes it look older, which I think would really add to the effect. Like, of course, that is like you could add in Photoshop later, but you would have the legitimate effect of using a slightly older, facilitating. That is the word I'm thinking of. Thank you, Handy. Oh dear. You could take some really spooky pictures and have them look legitimately old. That's why I said some things out to other makers. It declutters, and it means that people that will actually use the things. Like, I don't have any of the beads from Mateus anymore because I sent them all out. Like, other people have them because I'm not going to be using gold beads for quite a while probably. And if that even was the case, I'd have to order in bulk anyway. So I would rather just send out all of the old gold beads to people who might actually use them. So some of the beads that I've sent out will be in Sunkoi's costume, which is that's the other thing that's really nice about it, where you can see the stuff that you've sent out being used. So Sunkoi has a lot of my gold beads now. And so some of the beads that I used for Mateus may be in Sunkoi's entry for TwitchCon Paris, which I think is lovely. It makes me very happy. I am still in collection mode. Fair, fair. Oh dear. Adopt me? Sanko, I love Sanko so much. Sanko is such a sweet bean. And they're very heckin' talented crafter. Really, really good. So I'm really excited to see what they do with it, because I'm sure they'll take it in a completely different direction to what I did. And yeah, so I sent them all my beads. All my beads. No, not all my beads, all of those beads. The gold beads specifically. I think I sent them some sequins as well, but I actually can't remember. It's too far away. There's Sunkoi's sweet bean, Sunkoi's sweet bean! Heck yeah. Oh my god, I thought we were doing really well on time. We've actually already streamed like 3 hours. How did that happen, huh? I mean, we're still doing well on time because we've made a lot of petals and like things like that are going pretty well. But geez, how did that happen? I'm actually streaming twice today, so we are doing our morning stream of just crafts and stuff like that. But this evening, we're going to be doing a spooky horror stream with one of our mods, Shifty Bluke. So we're going to be playing some Resident Evil 6 together. We've actually already done the first chapter together. We did it late last year, early this year. And now we're going to be doing the second chapter. And we're going to be starting at 6 p.m. GMT. So probably when I finish stream, it'll be like a few hours. A few hours later. I need to quickly nip to the shops in between to like post some things. Go. I have mostly Nerf, but some other things, and sometimes the sale is just too tempting. I understand that. Also, thank you for shouting out Sunkoi. If you haven't checked out Sunkoi before, definitely check them out. If you enjoy cosplay and crafting streams, predominantly they do cosplay crafting. Sometimes they even wear their cosplays on stream. And again, they are thinking of entering TwitchCon in Paris next year. So you'll probably see a lot of very similar content, and again, they're very heckin' talented. They do quite different skills. They do, actually, honestly, they do a lot of SFX stuff. So it's pretty heckin' impressive stuff. I think you'll enjoy it. Almost all the stuff I've got helps keep the cost down. Yeah, I these days, I do tend to only order what I need, and if I can use things that I already have in my collection, I will. Again, just to keep the costs down. But also, I feel like as you get more used to your craft, you do just find ways and like techniques that do tend to be a bit cheaper. For me, the biggest cost is always thread these days. Not fabrics, not sparkles, it's thread. It's always thread. Thread, because it adds up so much. Oh dear, right. I don't know how I ended up going backwards over this one, but I did. That's okay, it's not a problem. Just go back around it. There we go. And get that in there. And just... Ooh, ah. There you go. Get that across there. Nice. And then that's nice and tight. And then try to organize these. And get that in there, and then get that in there. There we go. And just go around, really nice and tight. Okay, I think I'll do it. Let's go around the outside 1 or 2 more times, and then we'll tie that off. Hey, nice. Surprise egg! Sunkoi's legend. They are! Thank you for the egg, Grubbit. Welcome on in. They're not great fish stars in Poland. I do mostly, but it's mostly for clothes. Which, to be fair, you can make patterns out of, but I get, yeah, for like Nerf guns and stuff like that, maybe not quite so good. Dear. They have like 90% of the cost of internal parts. That's fair. But if that's the only thing that costs like a larger amount, that's still pretty damn good. Then again, you might have to go into hiding due to... I need to make a fishing though naked thingy dig. It holds a thread and keeps wrapping super fast. Oh yeah! A few people have recommended me things like that, and I've just been like, I'm using my knees. Like, I've had little pots and stuff recommended. They're very heckin' cute. I might ask for one for Christmas. Oh dear. And okay. So that's slightly larger. If I grab one of the smaller ones, it's like pretty not noticeable when you're lying them out, but when you actually make them, like, the size difference is pretty intense between them, even though there was only 1 centimeter difference, but they look quite a bit bigger. So yeah, pretty cool. It's pretty cool. It does make it easy to distinguish them though. Like, you can really tell which one's which is nice. I do need to trim these threads. These are getting a little bit ridiculous. Let's trim them to that, maybe. So they're all like wrapping around each other and it's making them stick to each other, which is not the worst, but I'd still rather it not happen. There you go. Trim that. I don't need these threads anyway. Once they've done all the wrapping around, they're basically useless anyway, so. And then, there you go. Good. Keep that a bit neater. And then, I think as long as I don't go longer than the wires. It's a bit for your hand, but your hand does. Oh, okay. Oh, that bit. I think I need a bit too much precision, unfortunately, because I'm kind of like trying to fill in space. I need quite a bit of like going back and forward and back and forward. That's okay though. It's relaxing, so it's not a bad job. It does give you a bit of an arm workout, but other than that, it's not too bad. And I'm getting used to it because I've been doing it for a couple weeks now. I'm getting pretty good, and it does feel like my arm is getting more used to it. You know what? Nothing wrong with a little bit of a workout. Oh dear, it's very cold. Just finish it because it's cold. Ah, dear. It's more people would prefer to sell than to donate. Not many charity shops here. Yeah, in the UK we have tons of charity shops. Like, they're just all over the high street. So you can get secondhand stuff very, very easily. But I don't know how international that is. Also, Matrix, welcome on in. Heck yeah. I can kind of do that. I can do it much slower. Much slower than you. Oh dear. I am probably gonna call it there, just because I'm gonna be streaming for quite a few hours this evening. So I'm gonna give myself a bit of a break to eat lunch, do some posting and stuff like that. I know it was a bit of a shorter stream, but oh, thank you for the hydrate. I will hydrate once I've gone and raided. We will be doing a bit of raid though, so hang on. I will grab someone and we'll go send you all into them. It's just because I'll be back like in a few hours. So otherwise I would have just kept going, because I'll be honest, I'm not particularly tired, but that's a good thing because I'm going to be back in a few hours. Again, so anyone who's not aware, we're going to be playing some Resident Evil 6 with Shifty Blook this evening, starting at 6 p.m. GMT, which is in about 5 hours from now. So I'll have a 5-hour break. In the meantime though, shall we do a little bit of a raid? Let's see. Who is live? Let's go into... Oh wait, can we raid into Black Apple? We can never normally raid into Black Apple. They normally end a bit early for us. They have been going for 1 hour 20, so I expect they'll be going for a little bit longer. Black Apple is a crafter on Twitch. They do lots of different crafts, honestly, but they do also make cosplays. So they're like just generally a very widely talented person. I think you'll like them. I think you'll like them a lot. They are a very sweet bean. There we are. They do a lot of charity stuff as well, so if that's your kind of jam, you'll probably find something you like, since they do cosplay, crafting in general, as well as charity. Thank you for shouting out Shifty. Yeah, we're going to be streaming with them later. I have to go, oh, mod, you're fine, Handy. Good luck with the modding. I hope that it goes well. And thank you to our mods for looking after the stream today, and while I had my hands full specifically towards Shifty and Vile. I appreciate it, because yeah, it's one of those jobs where it's just really difficult when you've got like the thread on the go to stop, because the thread starts to unwind. So yeah, I appreciate it. Thank you, and I'm for sure I appreciate your help going forward as well. We'll be back in 5 hours. I'll see you all really soon. Have a lovely afternoon, and I'll see you this evening. And if I don't, I hope you have a lovely Halloween. Take care. There we go.